Hey, what's up, everybody? This is another episode of West Coast Wednesdays, episode 2, with our dear friend Jason Binab, one of the top realtors over here in Canada on the West Coast. He goes by West Coast Chondros on Instagram. I want everybody to welcome to the West Coast, man. We're going all the way from Canada to Cali on this one. Really excited for a good conversation with Jason over here. And want to thank everyone for tapping in, watching the replay. Please share, like, and subscribe. Leave us a comment. Let me know how the show goes. And some of you may know I had a bit of rude awakening last week. And all I'm going to say right now, I'm going to keep it a bando with everyone. And all I'm going to say about it is make sure that you're testing your animals when you're acquiring these collections. Make sure you have an agreement before any money is exchanged. Make sure there's some talk about it. I know these things are hard to talk about, but we got to start talking about this before the animals are even being de- put on a hold deposit or anything like that. And if there isn't any talk about it, that's not good. I think there should be more discussion between the buyer and seller, especially with a lot of newer keepers coming in and starting to acquire animals and building a collection of their own. And yeah, there should be some sort of agreement over there, and some testing should be done before any stuff is talked about financially. Make sure you guys are testing these animals because I've had more captive bred animals test positive for Nido than wild caught. That's pretty interesting. So it doesn't matter if it's captive bred or if it's wild caught, it could still have Nido, and you want it to be tested before the animal ships and after the animal arrives. And there should be an agreement before any money is exchanged between the buyer and seller to avoid any issues after the shipping and whatnot. And yeah, like I said, I've had more animals test positive for nidovirus that are captive bred, wild caught. Just want to let that be known. That's all I'm going to say about that subject. Go ahead and let the new intro roll through. Appreciate you guys for tapping in. Enjoy this episode. West Coast, man, you know where it's at. Best place to relax and kick back. Underneath the palm trees, talk about reptiles and spit facts. From BP to GTP, emeralds to Ackies, the city by the sea where we rock the crease khakis. I don't need no AI intro because I've been at the style. Come kick it on the West Coast and talk about reptiles. Reptiles. Talk about reptiles. Style. Come kick it on the West Coast and talk about reptiles. All right. We're gonna add Jason to the stage here.
What's
Thank you,
happening?
Jason, for joining. We got episode number 2, man. West Coast Chondros. Got one of the top realtors in Canada. I'm sorry. What is your status in Canada? Are you the top realtor?
No.
Or
I
what's
mean,
what's
you can't really say that, but I'm one of the top. I'm the top guy in Victoria where I live, and top 5% in my company, and definitely I
awesome?
was
Okay, for
finished
sure.
number one at Engel Volkers when I worked there back in the day in the country. Sorry, in the country and North America, number 2 globally. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I do well in real estate. I love real estate. I love people.
Right,
So
man. Yeah,
I
yeah.
was trying
Well,
to slow down
that's
the West Coast that you did, but I
oh
literally have
yeah,
to take my fingers
yeah.
and cross them over. You can do it without any help. I love that.
It's yeah. I had a lot of practice, man, out here in Southern California, man.
Yeah, that's your
Holding it
thing.
down, keeping it a bando. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really appreciate you taking your time to come on here. I know you're a busy
Hey,
man, and
no, it's all good. I'm happy.
you've started to establish quite the collection over there,
Yeah.
and you have some really potent designer animals. You want to just take a little explanation
Sure.
to how many animals you have in your collection right now?
Oh shit! Sorry, I've got this computer just to lift it up, and I just dropped one of the perches there on a small cage. So I got 7 ball pythons, and one of them is about 3 years old. The other ones are about a year old, and then I've got 2 emerald tree boas, and then I've got nine. So what's that? And 13 green tree pythons. I might have 12 of them here. One of them, one of the breeders that I got Don, one from locally, he's got one of them back. He just took them back for a bit just to check on them and stuff, but all is good. So yeah, I've got 13 green tree pythons, although I've sold 2 that are shipping out this weekend because I got Patrick Holmes has a few snakes he's holding for me, and I'm getting some from him. And he
For
probed
sure.
2 of them. I bought 3 from Ruben, and he probed 2 of them, and they turned out male. I mean, it is
Mm,
what it is. So now, plus I was sold 2 Beox back there, and
yeah.
those containers there that they were apparently female. And when Socrates stayed at my house, he probed them, and they were male. So I got I got a few males,
Okay.
more males than I wanted, right?
Yeah. So swap the Beox for the Reuben.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, the Ruben
Yeah.
ones are pretty potent. And
Yeah, there's some heat, man. Dude, those you
Christian
got the
Stewart
V
on Irby, that one, the Velvet, and then
the
I've got
Velvet. Yeah, that's Christian Stewart's the Velvet.
yeah Christian Stewart times John Irby, and then there's so you're gonna have to forgive me. I'm a realtor, and I've done my best to learn snakes. I'm not the best at remembering all the codes, right? So it's Christian
Yeah.
Stewart, John Irby. It's a Velvet, and then there's a Bill Stiegel one also. That's also pro male. And then the younger Neo, the one that's still red, Patrick loves this one. It's a TSK, and he hasn't probed it yet. But he tested them all for me for Nido and for crypto, I think, is the other one he tests for, and all negative. So before not to try to make you feel bad or anything, but before I sent money, that was something that I was kind of advised to do. So Patrick checked them for me, and he'll check them again before shipping them out. And he's got them in a quarantine. But yeah, 2 males from him that from Ruben, and then one's unsexed, and then I'm picking up 2 other females from Patrick. So yeah, I'm
All right.
adding a couple females, guaranteed females, and a couple males, and then one unsexed. So I'll be having 5 new ones come my way. I got an empty cage down below there, and I got 6 more cages coming in from Cornell's World in Alberta, in Canada. And yeah,
Nice.
I'll be adding
Yeah,
some more
those
things.
yeah, that velvet animal is so beautiful.
Yeah,
Really into that look, that powder blue, that kind of robin's egg blue with the
yeah.
yeah, very nice. And
While you
what
and
is
I were
your
talking, Patrick sent me this video. I guess he's got the snake outside. Just he was
oh no.
filming for me
Is
kindly
that
enough.
the velvet animal?
The velvet, you see all the
Oh
melanism in there.
man. Wow.
And I talked to Ruben,
Yeah,
and without me going into circumstances of why he sold and stuff, I just said, hey, look, I'll love and honor these animals for you. If I ever create a clutch someday, if
for
I
sure.
breed, I'm lucky enough to have a clutch, then for sure I'll hit him up with a Neo from his babies, and I'll take good care of his snakes in the meantime, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's legit, man. And you're a good dude for doing that. I reached out to Ruben when I saw his post about
Mhm.
taking some time from the
Yeah.
hobby,
I think
and
he's coming
I
back.
wished
I
him
think
well.
he told me he's coming back, so it's good.
Yeah, for sure, man.
I think
Yeah,
Steven
once you
Stevenson, has that one for him, that beautiful one that he posted, or Steven posted the other day. That's Ruben's, I believe.
yeah.
He's got some beautiful There's so many beautiful snakes. These things are freaking art to me. Just so
Oh,
gorgeous.
yeah. Yeah, I fell in love with the
Yeah.
arboreals for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's pretty much that's one thing I want to touch on is that's pretty much why I'm here is just I like making art, whether
Hmm.
it's building a door, building
Yeah.
a table, building an enclosure,
Hmm.
or creating living art with these chondros or ball pythons or what it shall whatever it shall be. That's one of my passions in life is just creating art
Yeah.
and just to say that I helped produce this thing, whether it be, like I said, a door, or
Hmm.
I build doors here and there,
Is
and
that your job or that's just a side thing?
it's something I do on the side.
Yeah,
I
cool.
build like really nice like rustic doors and stuff like that, and
Mm,
it's been doing pretty well.
that's
And
good.
had my first clutch last week. I dropped the first clutch finally of ball pythons. Super
Congrats.
excited for them to hatch. Yeah, I got 4 good eggs and 1 slug. Really good for a first time female.
Yeah.
And it's been interesting just to take a step back and go into my shoes for a second. I got my first snakes. It says on my Instagram 85 weeks ago, so a little less than 2 years. It
Yeah.
seems like it's been so much longer. I feel like I've been here forever, but
No,
it's
no.
only been it's only been 2 years. I've had my first group of breeder ball pythons that I got, and now less than 2 years later, I already have my first clutch on the ground. The specific female that laid the clutch I got 1 year ago, a little over 1 year ago. So I acquired her. She was about 1,200 grams, and I
Wow.
was able to pair her up and get a clutch from her a year later, which is pretty good. It's a pretty good turnaround, in my
That's really good.
opinion. I thought it was, man, it feels like it's been like 3 or 4 years, honestly, but it's all the time with the rats. I breed my own rodents, and the time cleaning the animals, the time acquiring the collection, the time on YouTube. It feels like a century, but it was just I it this appears from my timestamps on Instagram. It's been less than 2 years, so I'm really proud of myself.
That's
Just
great.
want to say, maybe an inspiration for other new keepers out there, such as yourself, or I don't know if you're that new into this, Jason.
I am.
But
Oh,
for
I
all the
mean,
new keepers, it gets better. Just hang in there, man. Just keep grinding, and I think it'll start to, once your females grow up, and it'll start to develop after that.
mhm. I'd say the one thing for me is that this business, not business, sorry, the snake hobby, it does seem to slow down time for me, and I think part of that is because so much excitement about seeing these snakes go through their OCC, and it's like, when's it going to change? What's going to happen? When's it going to shed? Is something going to change? And it's just like this anticipation. I don't know. It feels like it just slows down my life a bit, which isn't a bad thing. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And another thing on this subject is it just keeps me occupied. It keeps me busy.
Hmm.
I'm in my snake room spending time with these animals,
Yeah.
and I'm not out doing other stuff.
Yeah.
And it's definitely keeps you focused, keeps you concentrated on something.
Yeah. I run. Like if I'm not like, so I'm a realtor. So if I'm showing houses, I'm obviously out in the field. If I'm at the office, I'm obviously out in the field too. But if I'm at home, I'll usually be in here. I'll come down here. I'll putter. I'll clean. I'll change water. I'll change paper towel. Check the temperatures all the time on these guys. I just make sure it's clean, and I'll do my phone calls down here. And I love it. I feel peaceful here. I do my meditations down here quite often. When I do the feeding, like I'm a little on the spiritual side when it comes to this kind of stuff. And Socrates
Yeah.
and I share that in common. I've really bonded with him over that. I do breath work with him every 2 weeks. So him and I work together all the time, talk to him every couple of days. We text every day, several times, but I'll sit here, look at the snakes, close my eyes and meditate. And a lot of my gratitude practices, thank you for these beautiful animals. And like, this might sound fucking weird, and I hope it doesn't, but like when I'm spraying the animals, I'm saying to them things like, hey, I love you, I'm protecting you guys with a ray of light. And I say hello to them and all that kind of stuff. And I always used to think about these crazy cat ladies, because in real estate we meet so many crazy cat ladies and they talk to the cats, and here I am fucking speaking to snakes. So I totally get it, but this is like my happy place. I've got a little race simulator behind me. I love Formula One. I'm wearing a Formula One t-shirt.
Okay.
Most of the time I'm in dress clothes, but I'll
Yeah.
do simulator, chill with the snakes. I got a pool outside. I'll do my cold plunges there, do the meditations in here. It's just I don't know. I feel very peaceful. My kids love the snakes. We don't hold them. I mean, the ball pythons we hold, but the green tree pythons, I never really hold except for my first one, which is in that gray cage there under the green one where my thumb is. That one is a little Jaya Aru, and I'll hold it like once a month, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't hold my snakes much either. I got some buddies into Formula One as well. We're
Oh yeah,
we're pretty much Team Red Bull over here. Uh,
sorry. I've
Checo
switched
is it
switched to Team Ferrari, and I'm going to Miami in a
okay?
month for Formula One. I'll be seeing Socrates. I'm going to go visit him. I'm checking out his
Nice.
snake. And I told that motherfucker, I said, I'm coming there, and am I allowed to swear on this? You guys are.
Yeah, of course, man. Yeah,
I said, I'm manifesting that I leave with the motherfucking manifester, right? That's what he calls that snake. I said, I am meditating, manifesting that I walk out of your house with the manifester in my bag.
man,
But I am
that
getting,
is goals.
I'm getting a female from him, but I told him I'm leaving with more than one. So we'll figure out if he's letting
That's
me leave.
insane, man. That's so cool, man. Socrates. Yeah, that was a good segue into the mindset
Oh
from
yeah.
staying busy in the hobby and being occupied, definitely into caring for these animals, and they put you in a different mindset. You're here. The animals are here,
Like this
and
this
they.
one here. Look at that one, Adrian.
Wow.
That's a female high
Is that a
yellow.
high yellow? Yeah,
Yeah,
high yellow.
get that
Hmm.
one from him. So it's from Rogue and Rainbow Dash from him, and I've also got another Neo from this one was a red Neo, and I've got a yellow Neo in the top Cambro focus cube thing there. That's also from Rogue and Rainbow Dash. So, but that one's a female, 2.5-year-old, I think, female or 2-year-old.
Okay.
I can't remember.
And
It's
that's Rainbow Dash is the female that has been retired from
yeah,
breeding?
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Awesome, man. That's great. Glad you got some animals from that pairing.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's
Excited.
excellent. And yeah, just having the mindset where these animals, we chose to get them and they didn't choose to be here, so we're taking care of them as good as we can,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a true passion, a labor of love.
Can I tell you a story about that? The little one I got. So
Yeah,
when you
absolutely,
talk,
man. Yeah, it's your show, man. It's your
well,
show.
it's your show. It's your show. So I don't know the agenda, but so this one here in that top left cage there, that's a rainbow rogue little baby. Okay. And I had them in these little, I've got on these little quart tubs, 6-quart tubs in a homemade rack. Okay. Now, one of the 6-quart tubs for some reason was a different size than the other. And I bought them on Craigslist or whatever in Victoria here, put them all in there, had the temps. I checked everything in advance of putting this Neo in there. Everything was dialed in. The temps, I had it bang on. Put the snake in there. And when I put it in, I could see like the tiny, like the tiny little gap. And
Yeah,
I'm like, fuck, I don't know about that. I wonder if this thing could get out. And it was like a baby, right? Like 8 weeks or whatever
for
age it
sure.
was. And what I did is I put a shim here under the one side, not thinking that it dropped the
Mm,
back of it. And I guess it created
yeah.
a tiny bit more of a gap at the back. Well, that little yellow one got out. So the next
Oh
morning,
man.
first thing in the morning, and it's confined to this room. So if I may flip the camera, so the room, I got some more cages over there. There's my simulator. So it's probably like 500 square foot room, and it's all enclosed. So it couldn't go far. But in the morning, I come down with my kid, and I said, I'm just checking on the snakes, and I pull out all the racks, and I'm looking, and I'm like, one of them's
Escape.
missing.
Yeah.
And Jameson, my son's like, no, it's not. And I'm like, I'm not kidding you. Anyways, we look around, he ends up finding it. And it was on, the little heat things that you stick on to, some of your tubs, like the plastic tubs, they've got the glue on the back.
Yeah. Yeah.
You plug them in, the heat
Yeah.
mats, those
Yeah. Yeah.
Repta,
Yeah. The
whatever.
Reptizoo, Repta. Yeah.
So anyways, one of those was on the back of a glass aquarium, that glass aquarium over there that's not in use. And it had fallen off onto the ground and was not plugged in. Okay. So the fucking snake slithered, I guess, behind and went to cross over that glue or, this sticky thing and
Yeah.
got stuck.
Oh
My kid
wow.
starts screaming. He's like, Daddy, I found it. I'm
Oh
like,
my lord.
and he's like, it's dead. I'm like, what? I'm like, no, it can't be dead. Anyways, this thing I could see was trying to move and it was stuck on this glue. And I'm like, fuck, what do I
Mm.
do? I call my boy Jaffe. I called Socrates. I called Jaffe's like, okay, you got to go upstairs and get some lube or some cooking oil or something to to get this
Yeah.
thing off here and do your best to, check on it, make sure that you're doing it slow. So anyways, I got some cooking oil, put it under, and bit by bit started working its way, knowing that, tails are very sensitive, this, that, the other. Anyways, I do my best to pull this thing off. And then at the end, there's Jaffe. What's up? And then, so Jaffe's like watching me do this video on FaceTime, and I pull it off, and it's looking like it's going to be okay. And then it starts kind of getting moving. And then at the end, I'm like, fuck, it looked like it got a tail kink or something. Right. And so
For sure.
I'm Socrates. The snake stayed in the I put it back in the cage, washed it off, put it back in the thing. And it literally didn't perch for like a week and a half. It just sat on the ground. And I called Socrates. I'm like, dude, I'm really sorry, man. Like, you trusted me to sell this snake. And I wasn't working with him on coaching. I didn't know him that well, but I really got along with him. I'm like, I'm really sorry, man. I fucked up. I think I killed your snake. And he's like, just FaceTime me. Let me take a look. And he takes a look. And I said, I think it's got a kink now. And he said, hey, sometimes it might look like it. It can go away. Just give it a week. Leave it alone. Don't try to feed it. Just leave it. And he goes, maybe shred up some paper towel, kind of give it like a little nest area there, because the thing was just laying on the ground like the saddest little thing. I was crying, man. I felt so bad.
Yeah.
This little baby that I had for like 3 days, and I had other green tree pythons, and I hadn't fucked up like this. And my kid was sad. He said he couldn't eat that day. He was crying. And I called Sock again. I'm like, I'm really sorry. This one's kind of hit me hard. And it took me like a week to get over this. I was like, I fucking killed the snake. Anyways, snake isn't dead. It's thriving. It's doing well. There's no kink. It's been like a week later. I was like, this thing's perching. It's back. It's eating. It turned down food at first. And he's like, you need to, if it's not going to eat, you're going to have to feed it something wild just to make it remember, you're still a fucking animal and you need to eat something and get over being a little, injured bitch kind of a thing, if you know what I mean. But
Yeah.
that was like the most terrifying thing to me. And so when you talked about us being caretakers for these things and taking care of them, then we choose them, they don't choose us. I take that serious. And that little one almost broke my heart, that little yellow one. And he's thriving, or it's thriving. It's unsexed, but he's a fierce eater, and it moves around the cage quite a bit. I think it's a male personally, but we'll see.
For sure. All right. Yeah, that reminds me of a story I had when I had my first like ball python group. I had one of my male ball pythons. I kept the probe inside of the tub with the animals, and I taped it. I used like a duct tape at the time, and I taped the probe to like the tub where the heat mat was underneath the tub. The tub was sitting on the heat mat, and I taped the probe because I wanted it perfect temperature. I was like overthinking everything. And the animal ended up somehow getting underneath the probe with the tape, and it had the tape like stuck on its neck. So I did the same thing. I like soaked it in some warm soapy water or something, or some warm water, and I was able to get the tape off of its neck, and you could just see so don't recommend any tape inside of an animal enclosure. I think I reached out to you.
You did
that one time. Yeah,
you helped me. So I still have it in the emerald tree boa ones, but those things are so massive, and it's a tiny amount of tape. And I think it was and several other people were like, hey man, I suggest you take down the tape. And I took it right away, taped it down. Then somebody else was kind enough, whether it was you or somebody else. I had one of them in here that was wrapping itself around one of the cords, like the Anaquaria I got, which is a Gary GS animal up there, and that white one seemed to find a little space, and it was wrapping around itself on the cord, perching up top. And I was like, what the fuck? So I ended up pulling that cord out and relocating it somewhere else. And then I ended up not using that cage because I put them in these focus cube. But that's one thing I'll say is the community reaches out and helps and gives you advice. And sometimes I read on the Facebook page some of these new people that are posting, hey, what should I do? This, and this. And some people seem kind of harsh, to be honest. But I think most people are pretty helpful and willing to kind of reach out. I mean, I can pick up the phone right now and call Bill Stiegel, and he'll answer, or Socrates, or Garrick, or Jaffe. I mean, Jaffe's my go-to. I call the guy almost every day.
And you just got to be willing to listen.
Yeah,
you got to be willing to listen, man. In this industry that we're in.
I see. Yeah, there's Chuck there. I've seen his. Chuck's the one who put the food right through the neck of the. And after he did that on his podcast, Chuck was talking about that the tongue went through the side of the neck of the snake, and he whatever it's called, glued it back together. I was like, shit, okay, I'm not using
Crazy
these
glue.
crazy glue. I'm not using these sharp tongs anymore. I swap to something less. So I mean, we're
Yep.
learning as we go. The tape thing almost killed the snake on the heat pad that was just sitting on the ground. So now I look around the room. I'm like, I got nothing dangerous in here. I got extra cages. So when I'm cleaning ball pythons, I take the ball python out, put the paper towel down, substrate water in there, slide it, then clean everything with the chlorhexidine and then kind of let them air out for about a week or so too before I ever use them again. So yeah,
Nice. Yeah.
yeah, I'd say the people have been real good to me, and like I'm not a breeder or anything. I'm just a
Yeah.
hobby guy, right?
Yeah. Thanks for tapping in, Chuck, and those quarantine setups that you're working on look great, man.
Yeah,
And that,
those look
that's
good.
yeah.
They
That's
really look
that's one
good.
thing is nice. Glad to hear the hole in the neck Neo is thriving, Chuck.
Yeah,
Excellent.
the
Definitely
necklace.
learning from our experience. And yeah, they like to get on the wires for sure. They get on the wires, and it's good not to have any loose wires in the enclosures.
I mean, I think Bill says it all the time. These things will try to kill themselves. And then Dawn, that I've got three, well, two of them are here right now, two designers from him, blue ones, one male, one female. They're siblings. He said to me right from the beginning, he goes, these snakes will do everything in their power to try to fucking kill themselves. Your job is to try to keep them alive.
Yeah.
So that's where, Chuck with his stories, you helping me with the tape, Jaffe helping me with, like I've got enough P Diddy lube in this place to, if one got stuck again, I can get them out. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing I really try to be transparent. I make like YouTube videos and share my experiences on stuff. I have another YouTube video I'm making, but definitely just try to be really transparent and I'm in this for the animals and what's best for the animals and sharing my experiences because it might help somebody else's animal. I'm not here to gatekeep or I'm not necessarily in it for the money and I'm just here for the animals. This I've been keeping reptiles my whole life. So I come with a different kind of approach to things and like to share information and be part of groups like that and
mhm.
I have a YouTube channel and take time, I take the time out of my day to film and record stuff that I've done and post it on my YouTube channel and just be part of the community
You know what?
right
Honestly, like
here.
the new guys, we really appreciate that because, before I got, my emeralds came first, but I've had ball pythons for 10 years. And since I was a kid, I had tarantula, scorpions, and ball pythons. First tarantula was at 7 years old. But, I spent hundreds of hours watching our green tree pythons before I got one. Gary's videos and
Yeah.
Alex and Bill and MJ. Like MJ was been a big one. Chuck, I watched his podcast. I watch um, um, Travis and Keno. I try to listen to as many people as I can to try to pick as many little things up that I can, but knowing damn well that I don't know shit about shit. Like, to be honest, I'm a realtor doing this for fun, and I'm thankful that you're having me on here. And if I can give any advice to anybody and they pick up one golden nugget for me, then that would be awesome, right? But I'm definitely not the most knowledgeable in this game, and I'm learning, but I'm like a sponge, willing to learn and ask questions.
100%, man. 100%. This it's a lot of knowledge. I did a lot of research as well before getting my first green tree python. I've learned a lot since then. And one thing Dave Levinson said on his Friday night episode, please everyone if you haven't seen it already, please go watch the Trap Talk episode on the Friday nights with the Dave Levinson Reptile podcast. He brought up a great point with his style of podcasting is he doesn't want to talk about stuff that is being talked about so much.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to alliterate right now
Hmm.
in those type of lines. So that's what I'm trying to bring as well with my podcast. Like he said, like everyone knows how to breed a ball python. I'm not going
Hmm.
to talk about how to breed a ball python. We're going to get straight into it with some high level stuff. That's I know I'm just starting out. This is the second episode, so that's what I'm trying to bring is just some high level stuff that us as a new keeper have learned that you don't really hear a lot. What kind of like take what you need and leave the rest, type of thing. But definitely get some people there and just start to get some experience with the animals and everything with that coexist with the animals as well.
I mean, it's
But
overwhelming in the beginning, right? Like, you know,
it's
you don't know where to look, where to start, who to talk to. Like, you reach out to one guy, and you know there's somebody's pushy with trying to get you to buy something. Other people are more patient, more guiding, and you know, I think as a new person, it can definitely feel overwhelming because you're like I don't like to waste people's fucking time, to be honest. So
yeah,
in this process of trying to get an animal, I want to get what's right and what feels right. But sometimes, you know, sometimes people just, you know, they just want to sell too, right? And you know, I'm a salesman. I sell houses for a living, but I believe that a house sells itself. And I think, you know, like Garrick last year, I called him and he had a beautiful snake. I think he had one snake left, and he was, you know, one of the first things he said to me is he's like, "So what do you think of it?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm just not sure." And he goes, "I can sense from you that you're just not 100% on this one." I said, "Yeah, no, honestly, I'm not." He said, "Perfect. Then don't get this one. If it doesn't feel right, don't get it. I'm not going to force it on you." And you know, these are
yeah,
five to $8,000 American snakes, which Canadians 1.5 times. You got your dollars 1.5 times ours. So when you know, when he said that, I was like, okay, I like this guy. I'll trust him. Same with Bill. Same with Socrates. Like nobody was trying to force, like of these people, was trying to force a snake down my throat. They're all, here's what I've got. Here's the lineage. Let me know if I can get you anything more,
yep,
and let me know if you got questions. And that's if I breed, like Jaffe and I are talking about. Jaffe and I are doing a breeding loan. We're getting a Thomas Budway female. This one's fucking fire, and Jaffe's going to breed that thing in the next couple of years. And you know, when we get some babies and we go out there and sell them, you know, we're not going to be forcing anything down any. I just said, hey, my style is going to be like, if Adrian calls me and says, hey, what do you have? I say, here's my 5. Which one feels best for you? If you like it, great. Put down a deposit, kind of like Bill or Garrick or anybody else. But you know, it's got to feel right to those people, right? Like I got one coming from Luke
yeah.
Snake. That guy's a good dude. Luke
Oh yeah,
Snakewalker.
yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, there's
Have
some
him
good
on
guys in
the show.
Cali.
That
Yeah,
guy is a beauty.
yeah, man. And I touched on this last podcast. Not sure if you tuned in. Let me know if you did. But we talked about with Alex Warren like what a designer chondro is, or the definition. Where that term I feel like gets thrown around kind of loosely, and I feel like a lot of your animals are definitely potent designers, man. You know, when to say humbly, when you could, you know, make moves and go to the top, bro. I mean, you know, you definitely leveled up, bro, and you got a killer collection, and I'd you know, just definitely take it, uh, you know, take your time with these animals, bro, because you
That's
got
one thing you
quite the
I mean,
collection there, bro. You got a really nice collection, and I
yeah.
really hope to see you do some nice things, man. So just take your time with
Yeah.
that, and
Jaffe's always
you have a
telling me every
tune.
day, just take your time. What do you think about this one? I'm like, I really like it. He's like, oh, okay. Well, you know, are you going high yellow? Or are you going blue? Or are you going locality? Like, where are you going? I'm like, you know, I said to Garrick, I said, look, I'm kind of all over the shop, to be honest. And I'm the first to say that. I'm like a kid in a candy shop, but I like what I like. And I like highlight yellow. I like blue. I like melanism. I like, you
Oh
know,
man,
I like it all. I
yeah,
like velvet. I like tiger stripe, like Dave D's tigers. Like, I mean,
for
they're all,
sure.
to me, these things are beautiful works of art. And I'm going to get them. And then after this year, I'm just settling down. Everything will be built out. And then
So
on the next 5 years, I'm just going to grow them up.
usually I don't like ask these like kind of starter questions, but what got you into green tree pythons? Were you always into reptiles? How long, you know, when did you get your first chondro?
Mm.
Give us an
So,
introduction, man.
yeah, thank
Jason,
you.
thank you.
So I got my first tarantula at 7. I grew up in Canada where we've got desert. I used to go hunting for rattlesnakes as a kid. That was kind of like my obsession. Like my favorite snakes as a kid would have been rattlesnakes and cobras before learning about gaboon vipers and all these other vipers, mangshins. I mean, I love them all. I've always loved them. So I was married, and my ex did not like snakes. So I separated from her about 5 years ago, And me and my kids had a ball python for about 5 years before that, but she wouldn't let the snake come to our house. So as crazy as this sounds, I fucking would go to the pet store with my kids and they wanted to hold a ball python. And I went in there and the owner said to me nicely, "Hey, Jason, you can't just keep coming back here and holding the snakes, right?" And I said, "Look, I'm happy to pay you for it. We love snakes. I can't take the snake home." And he goes, I said, "Can I buy the snake and like you raise it, or is there something like that?" He goes, "Well, yeah, you could buy the snake and I'll house it for you. And if you want to come take it home and take it and visit people or whatever you want, do whatever you want. And we'll feed it and house it here in a rack." And so we bought a snake called Jake the Snake. And that was in about 2016. One kid was 2 and one was 4. So my kids grew up loving snakes, and fear of snakes is a learned thing, right? It's not like they're born afraid of snakes. So
Yeah.
we had Jake the Snake for about
Excuse me for
4
one
years.
second. I'm listening. Please keep.
I'll talk. So we had Jake the Snake for about 4 years, and then finally the owner of the shop called and said, "Hey, look, Jason, I think it's time. The snake's getting a little bit too big for the rack. It might be time to rehouse it. Would you like to take it or not?" And I just said, "Look, my wife won't allow the snake to come home." So he ended up selling it. So that was 2020, early 2020, and I separated late 2020. And my kids love snakes. They love catching garter snakes. We go catch 10 to 50 garter snakes a year. Sorry, not a year, a day in our backyard where I live. And so about a year and a half ago, about a year and a half ago, I was like, okay, I'm going to get a snake. So I got a ball python coming up 2 years ago. So I got a ball python 2 years ago, and that's Hubert. He's a male, and he's Mojave Fire pied. And then after that, I was like, well, I really wanted to get a green tree python, but the guy at the pet shop said, "No, green tree pythons aren't great snakes. They're hard. They're this, that, the other." But he had one, and I was like, well, how hard can it be? If you can have one, why can't I have one, kind of thing. So then I just kind of dove into the research. So then I got my first green tree python in that gray one right there, the little one. That's his name's number 5. He was picked number 5, or he was named the number 5. So I picked him, and that was from Dave Grandy that I got from Canadian Mouseman. And that was last June. So I've had green tree pythons, these 13, for less than a year, coming up a year.
Wow. That's that's an amazing journey, man. Quite quite the jump, and like I took the jump as well. I had chameleon, like I said before. I was I've said before in some other scenarios, but I was more of a lizard frog
Yeah.
guy. I had my first YouTube channel was about 13 years ago. It was called West Coast Amphibians.
Oh, yeah.
Now I go under West Coast Reptiles. But if you look up West Coast Amphibians, all one word on YouTube, we're still there. 13-year-old videos. And I had quite the collection of some amphibians. So we went under West Coast Amphibians. And I still have a pixie frog I just picked up recently, a female. My buddy has a male. And we're kind of revamping West Coast Amphibians. I actually, it's funny to mention. Well, there's a guy in Canada. His name is West Coast Amphibians. I guess he made a website. Like, we were the OGs. We had a YouTube like 13 years ago, and but he's producing some fire amphibians. I don't know if he's kind of still around. People take these names and handles, and
Yeah.
they're around for 4 or 5 years, and then they get out.
Well,
But yeah, so
I felt bad having my name when you reached out. You're like, "Oh, you're on the West Coast." I was like, "No, I'm in the West
yeah,
Coast." I literally was like, create an Instagram page,
yeah,
because on my real estate page, I started posting my snakes.
yeah,
And I had clients who are like, "What the fuck? You've got snakes? Like,
yeah,
we might need to talk." And like, some of
yeah,
my clients are like, "So you have snakes?" And I'm like, "Yeah, what's wrong with that?" They're like, "That's fucking crazy." Like, are they and
yeah.
everybody thinks, "Well, where
Oh,
are
for
they? They just
sure.
crawling around your house?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, they're just
Yeah,
fucking crawling around my house."
yeah.
But so that's
That's what
when I
I'm getting at. Yeah,
yeah.
like is like in the West Coast. I was like surprised. I was like, "Whoa, West Coast Chondros, you came out," and I'm like, "Oh man, that's pretty like that's pretty sick, dude." I was just like, "Yeah, I didn't feel like I deserved the." And you definitely, hey man, you got the Chondro name on lock, bro. I do not have enough Chondros, I do not. I don't deserve that name, West Coast Chondros.
You can have it
And
all the
you
time.
deserve it, bro. I'm glad to be on a podcast with you, honestly, dude. It's been a while since we've been communicating, bro, and we've always been cool. And I appreciate you, Jason. You've been a really humble, really cool dude. And yeah, and I started out as a lizard kind of lizard frog guy, so I get it. I was never a snake person, but when you go to these reptile shows, I've been going to reptile shows since 2011. I got a picture on my Instagram. I went to the Reptile Super Show, and that was, I went to many before then too. And I was into, but you see table after table of ball python,
Yeah.
and that's all you see at these shows. So I had some lizards. I bred chameleons. I had a chameleon. I had a pair of panther chameleons. So I had the arboreal species. I was really into lizards and frogs, and the snakes were a whole different ball game. So I wasn't a snake person until I got my first ball python. I was like, oh man, these things are awesome, dude. Like, you only feed them like once a week, bro. Like, what? Like lizards and frogs, you got to feed them every day. Those are everyday animals. Like, you there's an everyday animal, and then there's snakes. And
Yeah, totally. I mean,
snakes,
when my friends are like, "Oh,
it's
so how often do they eat?" and I tell them, they're like, "Oh, that's not so
yeah,
bad." And I'm like, "Well, you got to
yeah,
clean their shit and their piss and
yeah,
all that kind of stuff." But
yeah, for sure.
yeah,
They could chill with you. They're more interactive. Like a lizard just runs away from you. A frog just jumps. The
yeah,
snake just chills on your neck. So it's a
yeah,
whole different ball game. It really, once you get into and then the whole community behind the snakes is, man, it's a whole nother ball game. I was never a snake person. I understand people who are like, oh my god, you have a snake? Like, that's so weird. But it's actually, man, I love these things. They're such peaceful, elegant creatures.
yeah. I don't know if it
And
was MJ or maybe it was Bill or somebody else was talking about the percentage of people in the United States that own a reptile, and it wasn't very much. I think it was like 6% or seven
yeah, it's
percent
like
or
5% or something like that. Yeah.
not crazy.
It's
And to me, like I've got a buddy that comes here is my best friend. This guy's 6'5", 265 pounds. He's a big boy. Fucking terrified.
yeah.
And he was at my house earlier today, and I said something. I said, "Oh, I'm doing a podcast tonight about snakes," and I was showing him a picture of a background that I'm getting wrapped on. I'm ordered 6 new cages. I'm like, "What do you think of this?" And he's like, "What's gonna jump out at me?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm showing you a fucking computer screen. Like nothing's." He's like, "You're gonna show me a picture of a snake?" I'm like, "I swear on our friendship, I'm just showing you backgrounds, vinyl wraps. I just want you to tell me which one you like the most." He was just terrified of even a fucking picture coming up on the screen of a snake. And I said to him, I go, "Dude, that's a shame. Like, he goes, "I think they're beautiful. I just don't want to see them. I don't want to touch them." And I said, "That's something you learn. Like, who did this to you? Was it your parents or what?" Because I said, I watched this video of one of you guys. I don't know if it was you or somebody shared it, but maybe it was Jaffe. And it was like babies in a room with retic pythons fucking crawling all around. And the babies are holding them and
Oh
grabbing.
yeah.
And those kids aren't afraid of anything. So it's a
Yeah.
learned thing. We are afraid of snakes from movies. We're afraid of fucking sharks from Jaws and snakes on a plane and tarantulas from, all these crazy movies. And it's really a shame because they're actually incredible creatures. Tarantulas, like I love scorpions. I love tarantulas. I love snakes. Like if I could have a caretaker that could help with this because I'm busy with real estate, I would have probably 100 snakes, tarantulas, fucking scorpions, venomous if you're allowed. In Canada, we can't have venomous here, but I just think they're incredible animals just to look at. I don't need to hold them all or anything like that. It's just, my ball pythons I can hold. The other ones, I just look at these things on the perches and just find them visual art to me, right?
Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
a
And
lake.
I
Crazy. Where did that lake come from? It's just like, now I need one of these beauty lights.
yeah, it was just because I have my StreamYard on dark mode, and I went to your Instagram just to maybe pull up some content from your Instagram.
Oh, very
Yeah,
good.
yeah, I got into. I have a question right here, my brother. Thank you, Juan Pablo. Thanks for tapping in as my brother right here. He asked if you have ever take your snake out to the bar, which I've done. I've done a
Shut
few
up. Right?
times. Yeah, there's a lot of bars. Oh yeah, I take my snake like a Dumerals boa. I have a pet like boa. Boas are pretty cool too. I have a Dumerals, and
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
shout out to Adam from Wiccan's Wicked Reptiles. He's the one who inspired me to get a Dumerals boa,
No way.
and
That's
it just
cool.
so happens my local pet store
Yeah.
was breeding Dumerals boas. They just had a litter, so I got a captive born Dumerals boa, and she's a
Nice.
female now. She's about 2 or 3 years old, and she's getting bigger. I just got a male
They get
from.
big, right? Like 7 feet kind of big or no?
Yeah. They could get like about 7 or 8 feet, but
Yeah.
that's fairly small, honestly. For yeah, they definitely get bigger than a ball python.
So the answer to that is no, I've never taken my snakes to the bar, but in grade 11, when I had a ball python, was a full grown, I didn't weigh it back then. I took my snake to school and to the mall with me, and then I left it in the fucking car and I lost it. It disappeared in my
Oh,
car. And where do you think it
yeah.
ended up? In the gear shift, like in
Oh,
back
yeah, for sure.
standard on the shift boot. And I had to reach in there and pull it out when it was cold in the morning because it was a little bit more relaxed and stuff. And I never did that again. So I didn't take cage. I was just like, I'm going to take the snake with me, put it around my neck, show it at school and in the mall. And somebody's like, you can't be in here with the snake. So I went and put it back in the car for a bit. And I'm like, where's it going to go? Fuck, that was stupid, but I was young. So
Yeah. This is some good stories you're sharing, Jason, man. What is the ratio on your emerald tree boas?
I just got 1.1. So that's
1.1. Great. Yeah, same
you know,
here.
female up there. She's beautiful.
Yeah,
Ivy, and
she
then
looks nice.
Joey down there. Her head is incredible. She's got a beautiful face. It's
All
quite
right.
nice. Beautiful pattern.
Hey, I'm just gonna run that intro really quick one more time, and we'll just take a quick little break right here. And
Okay.
West Coast, man, you know where it's at. Best place to relax and kick back underneath the palm trees. Talk about reptiles and spit facts from BP to GTP, emeralds to Ackies, the city by the sea where we rock the crease khakis. I don't need no AI intro because I've been at the style. Come kick it on the West Coast and talk about reptiles. Reptiles. Talk about reptiles. Style. Come kick it on the West Coast and talk about reptiles. All right, bro. Appreciate you hanging in
Yeah.
there. And yeah. So how are you liking working with the emerald tree boas so far? They're
I
one of
mean,
my favorite species for sure.
they're wild caught, and I don't feel confident with them. Like they mind their business. I put my hand in there right next to her head and get the water bowl and spray down the cage and stuff like that. And she minds her business, puts her head away, and the male's a little same thing, a little timid. But in the beginning, they were definitely, you were looking in there, they were looking like they wanted to strike, right? But there's Juan, your boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they're good. I don't hold them. Those ones, I don't want to get tagged by one of those. I get tagged by the little Socrates Neo. I've got SC 2430, which is a Amy Rose times Lime,
Yeah.
and that one tagged me the first day. Just it came off the perch, and I just kind of reached down, like on the ground when I was taking it out of the little shipping thing and putting it into its
Yeah.
first enclosure. I think it just got scared and
How long
tagged.
have you had your emeralds for?
They're about a year. They're before the green
Okay.
tree pythons,
Oh,
after
okay.
the ball python. Like in that rack
All right.
over there, top shelf is
Awesome, man.
Hubert, and then I've got 6 other not babies, they're a year old now, but or close to a year.
Yeah,
Mhm.
man. Yeah, just take your time with those for sure too. That
I'm,
female
I'm
looks
not
nice and big.
I'm not gonna do any more. Yeah, the female's real good size. I'm gonna try those 2 this year. I think she's about 4. I haven't weighed her, but compared to other snakes, she must be over, I don't know, 1,200 grams and 1,100 grams,
Mhm.
something like that. I'm not going to get any more ball pythons. I struggle with the ball pythons, to be honest. Just I know the rack system. They eat well and they do well in there. It feels weird to me, to be honest. Like it just feels a little on the inhumane side. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe
For
that's just
sure.
my own kind of like, I want to
Yeah.
look and enjoy them. And I had them all in individual aquariums, and they just didn't thrive in there. They just weren't eating,
No.
right?
No, I'm glad I got rid of all my glass enclosures recently.
Yeah, I've got that one left, and that's just kind of like an emergency one there. That's about it. So
Yeah, I'm so glad. Except for my Ackie monitors, I got some Ackies and an Exoterra.
yeah,
Definitely, yeah. The ball pythons, just like I said, that recent clutch. It's like, man, I just kept this like ball python in this FB70 tub, paired her up a few times, and now she has a clutch in the tub. Like, they just live in this tub, and they breed in the tub. It's pretty insane. I take them out in the summertime to get some sun and stuff, but it's like, wow, this actually works. Like, you just keep the snake in the tub, and like, you keep the snake in the drawer, and then it reproduces, and like, I can see how people do this. It's like kind of mind-boggling. I come from the like more display side of things, the pet side of things, for sure. So I definitely understand what you're saying.
I
And
mean,
they feel safe in the tub.
I know. And that's fair, right? And I don't know. It's just a tough one for me. I struggle with that sometimes. I'm like, these things are amazing. Just feels like they're in this little tiny enclosure. Doesn't feel right to me. But who knows? But yeah, I'm not gonna get any more emeralds. I'm gonna try to breed those too. But I love them for what they are. But definitely, Socrates is like, hey, focus on one thing if that's what you like. He used to have more
Yeah,
and stuff, and he's like, I'm all in with the green tree pythons. The chondros is what I love, and I agree the same thing. And if we could have vipers and stuff like that, I'd
definitely.
probably have a couple of those for some eye candy, but we can't. Are you allowed in California? You allowed like rattlesnakes, or what? Were you allowed to have venomous
I think we're just allowed to have
native?
native
Yeah,
native venomous. Yeah, I
and
think
that's
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 pretty much.
because they have the anti venom on hand. Is that why?
I'm not sure. I'm not 100%, but that sounds like a good reason.
Yeah, it sounds like
Yeah, and
enough
that's
reason.
yeah. And there's some nice rattlesnakes out here. I'm not sure which ones you're allowed to keep or which ones. I don't think you can keep the red diamondbacks. I'm not sure. Something
Luke
like that.
Snakewalker posts some amazing stuff.
Yeah.
He's traveling around posting, rattlesnakes, and I was like, "Shit, where'd you catch this one? I want to come visit." And he was like, "Oh, that's in Mexico," or like,
Yeah.
just I love those things.
Aiden Bradley too. I don't know if you
Too, yeah,
follow
yeah,
Aiden
social,
Bradley
right?
for
Social,
sure.
what's his name? Social
Yeah,
BI.
SoCal or so
So,
SoCal Biox. I think
yeah,
it's SoCal Biox. I think.
SoCal. That makes sense. Not
Yeah,
social. Sorry,
he's a
SoCal.
he's a really cool keeper, man. He's shout
Yeah,
out to Aiden Bradley.
yeah. I chat with him before.
And
Seems like
yeah,
yeah,
so the Socrates, man, can you go over like how that experience was, man, and for people who don't know, like what you did with Socrates, and that's
yeah.
such a cool, man. That's so
So
inspiring, bro.
Socrates, he owns a couple studios called. Oh, why am I drawing a blank? I'll remember that in a second. So he owns a couple breathwork studios that do cold plunge and hot tub or hot, sauna and cold plunge kind of things and breath work. So I work with him every 2 weeks and we work on breath work. So I do coaching with him. We talk about my business, what's going on, where I'm feeling good, where I'm not feeling out of balance. And we try to identify that. And then we do some breath work exercise. And in this breath work, it's real deep breathing transformational shit. And while this is going on, it's like, you're holding your breath, and I can get up to about 2 minutes holding my breath. And when I'm doing that, things just come to you. And it could be, I want to finish my divorce. It could be, I want to spend more time with my kids. Want to ramp up my real estate career, want to do something more with snakes or whatever your calling is. And just things come to you. So I've been working with them since about November. And then I said to him in about January, hey, any chance I could get you to come here and teach my agents? So I own a company called The Agency. It's based out of California. And I own 3 offices in town. I've got 40 agents that work for me. And one of the things I train all my agents on mindset stuff, right? So if you want to grow as a human, you want to become a version 2.0 of yourself, you got to break down what you used to be, everything you used to know, and remove those paradigms, those limiting beliefs, those doubts that are in us since childhood. It could have been something as simple as your dad saying, Adrian, why didn't you do that? And you interpreted it as, well, I'm not as good as my brother or sister, or my dad said I'm useless. And he didn't say that. But we hold this in life, when then we develop as humans, and then as we get older, these are subconscious limiting beliefs that we carry around with us, right? So, I've worked for about 12 years with different coaches to try to remove this and become more of a positive, high energy, high vibration person. And I hadn't done breath work. And when I started talking to Socrates and we did this, the first time I did the session, I was like, holy fuck, like my hands locked. I couldn't feel my hands from just the stuff that goes on. My lips were quivering, shit was going on in my body, and things just started flooding into me. I was just like, I see things. This is what I need to do. This is what I want to do. I want to spend more time with the kids. I want to do this, that, the other. And so I started doing that with him. And I said, hey, I want you to come and do this for my agents. So I did. He flew him in February, stayed at my house. So he stayed in this house. He probed the snakes for me. He was amazing. We'll talk about his energy in a second. Holy shit, that guy, no snake wanted to bite him. So he's got something going on. Anyway, so he came in.
Yeah.
Did
Nice.
3 hours in the morning with my realtors, about 40 of us, and then 3 hours in the afternoon where I just invited friends and colleagues and just did this deep breathing in, out, in. And he's got music and he's talking through us. He's like, you are beautiful humans. Breathe in, positivity, out, negativity. And we're just doing this. I cried the second session. I did them both. Some people were crying, shaking. One woman broke down, had to leave. She was like, hey, I've got this going on in my life. Thank you so much. Like this man is a pretty well-known snake guy. Maybe you'd put him in the top 10 of whether he's the best.
For sure, man.
I think he's a phenomenal breeder. He's done a great job with his brand. But
he taught me how to Nido test his video where he teaches you. He's so calm and just man. I almost cried just watching your video. Was so inspiring, man.
There was several.
I'm so glad that you got Socrates to come over, and that's man, that's just like huge respect to you, bro.
You guys
like,
that's a chance to know
you're
him.
a real one, Jason. Dude, you are a real one, bro.
Thank you. We're all real.
I really look up to Socrates,
we're
bro.
All real ones. That's, I think, at the end of the day, we can all learn from each other and we can all help each other. And that's kind of my mission here. Is I'm new to this whole snake thing. I'm like a year into green tree pythons. Hey, what's up? Alex is there. He got me yesterday on the fucking April Fools. He posted that female saying, I might let this one go. And I messaged him right away. And I didn't realize it was an April Fool. But if you guys get a chance to know Socrates, just know that he's so much more than this brand and beautiful snake. No. Oh. He's a beautiful human. And he fucking vibrates at a different level. That guy is something else. Like, you want to talk about energy? When people walk into a room and you're like, hey, what's up with that person, guy, woman, doesn't matter. He has that, right? And you're drawn to that. And he's very calming and soothing. Thanks, Alec. He's very soothing and calming and all that kind of stuff. And animals pick up that energy too. I mean, he had my worst fucking Beox that tries to bite me every time. And I said, be careful, this one's going to bite you. And he's picking it up and he's after probing it and he's looking at it and the face. I'm like, dude, this thing's going to fucking bite you. This thing looks at me and snaps at me. He's like, it's not aggressive. What do you mean? It's not going to bite me. And I was just like everything just calms down around him. Right. I love that guy. I talked to him earlier today.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. He's on a different wavelength, bro. You could just tell. And it's hard. It's not easy, bro, to be Socrates, dude. Like, it's, I mean, that's
his schedule. His schedule's fucking crazy. So he stayed in my house, and he arrived, picked him up. We spent the evening, went for dinner, had a beautiful dinner. He woke up. I guess he's 3 hours ahead Eastern time, so he woke up at about 3:30 our time, 6 o'clock his time, which was late for him. And I have an alarm in my house, so fucking guy comes down into this room. And he goes out this window here and he opens this window in the snake room and slides out and he goes for a walk down the beach. And he went and cold plunged in the fucking ocean at like 5:36 in the morning. And he filmed himself on the beach talking to people. They were, I guess he was coming out of the ocean. They're like, you're crazy. He's like, I'm from Florida. I'm here visiting my buddy. How's it going? You guys having a good day? He's like, you're on Instagram. And they're like, oh, okay. Like, he was up at 3:30, did his routine, did his breath work. He's drinking his blue fucking drops, whatever that shit, blue methylene or whatever it's called. Oh, yeah.
Methylene blue, yeah.
Methylene blue.
I use that from my fish tank.
Oh, do you? He's like, can I have a straw? I'm like, for what? And he's sipping this blue methylene out of this. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
It kind of smells like a eucalyptus or something, right? Like, kind of has a, like a pine sol.
Everybody loved him. We all loved him. He's such a. I wish he
Oh
had more time,
man.
but I'm seeing him
Yeah.
in 4 weeks. So I called him today. I'm going to get him to run another session for my agents probably on April 29th, and April 30th. I fly to Miami. My girlfriend got me tickets for Formula One. We're going to stay. I don't know. She booked a hotel. We're going to go see Socrates. And like I told you, I'm fucking leaving his house. And if he's watching this, he's going to know I'm taking
Yeah.
2 bangers from him. I'm going to fucking take 2 of his best snakes. I don't care what he says. I'm manifesting that shit. I'm going to,
Yeah, man. And I could tell he really respects you, bro. He shared your story. You know, he really interacts with you a lot, and that's really cool to see, man. Really inspiring. I
yeah. And
really like Socrates, bro.
like he was here for 2 days. And how much did we talk about snakes? Almost nothing. Like he came
Yeah.
down here. He's like, "Hey, let's go probe the snakes." I'm like, it's getting close to dark time. I don't want them to bite you. They might think it's
Yeah.
food. And he's like, "Let's just go probe the snakes. Fuck, don't worry about it."
That's
He
why
probed,
this.
and then
Yeah, I
it
know
was
that this. Excuse me. This episode hasn't been snake heavy so far, and that's why, because I know that you're a high level, bro. You're on a higher level, you're on a higher wavelength, and it's really inspiring. All the stuff that you're doing out there, we all look up to you, bro. And for someone like you to just come in and just dominate the Chondro world, bro, is awesome, bro. It's humbling, inspiring. It makes you want to work harder,
I
bro, to get to get what we all want and
well, I
to get
think
our collections up.
like whatever it is that you're doing in life, in your walk of life. I mean, to dominate, I'm not dominating the chondro world. I think I've bought some nice, expensive chondros, and that comes from being successful in my career. And if I can be an inspiration to somebody to work harder or choose a different path, like Joe Colicchio and I chat after I did a podcast. I talked, not a podcast. I just talked, and he called me and it was like, "Hey, something you said resonated," and we started chatting. I was like, "Hey, if you've got a calling in life and you pay attention to what the universe is saying, if you're working a dead end job and you feel shitty, you're feeling anxious, you're feeling this, that, the other, the universe will try to talk to you and say, 'Hey, Adrian, this isn't for you. Hey, Adrian, this isn't for you. Hey, Adrian, this isn't for you.'" And you're feeling shitty. Maybe you're drinking more. Maybe you're doing something, this, that, the other. And if you don't pay attention, at some point, when you're out of alignment, out of balance, the universe will give you something. And in my case, in 2017, I was out of balance. My marriage, whatever was going on, I had fucking panic attack. First time I ever had a panic attack, freaked the shit out of me. And I was like, what the fuck is that? Why am I feeling this? Like, I'm making money. I got a beautiful wife. I got a beautiful family. I got crazy house, all the cars, all the toys, everything, the watches, everything I want.
Yeah.
What the fuck am I having this for? And then you start diving in. I start working with hypnotherapists and talking to my coach. And then at the end of the day, I find out it's my marriage that's out of balance, right? And hey, there we go.
Yeah, for
Cool.
sure, man.
But so the universe,
Yeah.
I believe, will try to get your attention, whether it's your job that you're not happy in, or a relationship, or if you're not even living up to your fullest. And the universe got my attention, and then I started paying attention, this, that, the other, and then obviously divorce isn't a great thing, but I think at the end of the day, like you saying, like, if I can be an inspiration to somebody that, if being a police officer or a sheet metal worker or working at a place that isn't a calling for you, and you love snakes, fucking do snakes. Like, find a way to make it happen. Like, move mountains. Like, if I lived like Alex, you want to talk about a guy who's positioned so nice, so well, great guy, and he's got Bill Stiegel at fucking 15 minutes from his house. What's he doing? He's going and helping Bill all the time. He's learning from one of the best in the world. Alex is one of the best in the world now because of that. That's an opportunity, and he's grabbing that. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, position yourself, surround yourself by people that are better than you, smarter than you. Like, I talk to Socrates, I talk to Jaffe, I talk to Bill, I'll talk to anybody, text Alex, call Garrick. These people are all better than me, and I want to learn from them. Not because I want to breed snakes and leave real estate, because I just want to be the best. If I'm going to do something, whether it's collecting snakes or work or playing a sport, I want to be the best that I can. And that's, I think, important for everybody. Just listen to the universe, will give you signs. And if you're passionate about something, follow that passion. And if you're an honest person, you work hard and you got integrity and you believe in yourself, then you will be successful in life, right? You're one of them. You're on the way up to being one of them. So whatever you say, I'm not trying to blow smoke up your skirt or
Yeah.
anything like that, but
And really
Alex.
my yeah, my mentor has been MJ. He's
Yeah,
the closest to me really. He's the what I feel is a good leader for me, and he's always steered me the right way.
and
And
I don't know MJ. I
you
mean, I
know,
watch watch all his podcasts, and I've chat with him on text and stuff.
yeah,
And I mean, I can read energy. He seems like an amazing guy, and I'm so thankful for what he's done, because so much of this learning from Bill and
yeah,
Chuck and Marshall and Alex and everybody else. The first time I saw Socrates was on
yeah.
his. The first time I saw Patrick.
I never knew Socrates before MJ. Introduced
And
me.
MJ and Socrates are super tight, and Sock speaks the
Yeah,
world of him, and that's great that you've got a mentor, right?
yeah,
And
man. You can
that's
see
phenomenal.
when someone's with the highest level people in the game, bro, you know they got something going on, bro. You know that they're there 100%. You know when someone's so tapped in, you're like, okay, man. So it's very inspiring, man. Really relatable to MJ. He's out here. He's relatable and I've been like you said, I've been trying to surround myself around MJ as much as I can. Whenever he's over here in Los Angeles, I meet up with MJ and we have a good time and try to help him out. Whether it's set up for a show or breakdown for a show, and just be around that energy.
I mean,
Definitely,
I've
man.
got
It's
I've got a guy in Victoria. His name's Don Patterson. He doesn't show his face on here. He's worldwide known, I guess, for carpet pythons, right? But I've got two of my green tree pythons from him, and I like to just go to his house and chill and look at his snakes and talk to him and just pick his brain. And I'll call him and we'll chat for like an hour, this, that, the other. And I think it's important. Like if you're like a guy like Alex and you're close to somebody like Bill, you go there, you put in the time. And
yeah,
for you, for MJ, that's awesome to reach out to him and
yeah,
say, hey, MJ, if I
and
can help
and
you with
he's
feeding,
reciprocated, bro. Yep,
totally. And that's
he's been
life.
there for
So,
me.
and if you give with no expectation of return, of receiving, the universe will pay you back 10
Yeah,
times. I guarantee you that. And guys like MJ, like Bill, Alex that helps out, Jaffe that helps out, Socrates, all of these guys, Garrick, like that have taken the time to help me, the universe will pay them back in their field 10 times. And I honestly do believe that. So
yeah. I mean, I can't thank MJ enough for what he's done for me and this whole community, man.
totally. I mean, he's
What?
he's helped. I mean, it's big what he's done. I mean, Patrick
So
and I were
are
chatting.
you back to some high level snake stuff, man? Thank you. Is very we could go on and on about the mindset, bro. You're on the mindset. You're on a higher wavelength. You and Socrates, bro, and you guys relate to each other. You're on the
I,
same frequency, man, and it's good to just tap in for a little bit. But if we just kind of dial it back and just talk about a little more your day to day stuff with these
yeah,
animals, and kind of wind it back to the reptiles. Is Are you feeding frozen thawed
yeah,
or
frozen thought, everything.
live? I mean,
No
pre-killed.
lie.
You don't breed. Yeah, you don't breed your. Have you thought about breeding any rodents?
I don't have time. Like
Yeah.
Don in town breeds his own. I buy from a place that's about an hour outside of Victoria. They deliver on my front doorstep. I leave a cooler out there. They come on Fridays. I throw a bunch of ice in there. They drop it off. And yeah, frozen thawed. I have fed my male the adult python, sorry, the adult ball python Hubert. I fed him live a couple times because he wasn't eating, and I was like, what the fuck's going on with this guy? Boom, killed him right away. And then I put him in the rack because he was in a cage before. As soon as I put him in the rack, no problem, feeds whenever he wants, right? And I did feed this Biok that's down there. I fed her wild the first time because the guy I bought her from said he was only feeding her wild. I fed her wild once, and
Uh,
I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try frozen thawed, and fucking smash his food, no problem. So I don't do
yeah.
anything other than frozen thawed.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like the rats like don't take much work. To be honest, I clean them like once every 2 weeks. It takes me like an hour. I got it down. takes me like an hour, hour and a half, and I cleaned all 6 colonies,
Yeah.
and I have a surplus. I like sell rodents with 6 colonies at 3.12 of the Ken River hamsters. Yeah, I have a lot of production,
Hmm.
and I definitely recommend breeding your own rodents if you can. And it really doesn't take much. You do have to feed them. That's the one thing is I feed them, and that takes up some time. They do eat a lot. They're
Yeah.
rodents, and on the
Do
other
you
side, I know
ASF?
what they're eating.
Do you do
I'm
ASF?
sorry.
Sorry. Do you do
Uh,
ASF or?
no, no. Desert field mice or Kenyan
Yeah.
river hamsters.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Um, yeah. So yeah. In other words, yes.
Yeah, that's good.
So yeah, but they're doing great, man. And I know what my animals are eating. So usually I'll just do pre-killed,
Hmm.
and boom, I'll just feed them off because the frozen thawed, you have to thaw them out, and
Yeah. Process.
it's a lot. It's a lot of work, bro. Once you start to get up in the numbers and whatnot, and with like most, yeah. So yeah, rodents are a big part of this industry. Like you see, I guess starting his new rodent shed. So shout out to MJ, man. I'm happy he's starting his new shed.
Yeah, nice.
He's
No, I
gonna
mean,
start producing his own rodents again, and
yeah.
and that's cool, man. And honestly, I do not, I couldn't be here if I buy frozen thawed or buy rodents. I couldn't. I don't think I can afford to be in this hobby, to be
Oh,
honest.
fuck, it's
If I didn't.
expensive. It's I'm
Oh
I'm
yeah.
300 and some dollars Canadian at least every month for sure, right? And
Oh
I'm
yeah.
like ball pythons. My younger ones are eating once a week. The Neos here are every 5 days. The
Yeah.
other ones are 10 days. Those ones are 14 days. The female and the emeralds are 14 days. But
Yeah.
rats are like $5 Canadian a piece for the big ones, and
Oh yeah.
it's expensive.
Yeah.
And especially if they fuck it. The worst is if they don't eat. You're like, oh, seriously,
Yeah.
no. Like that's five
Oh
dollars or
yeah.
seven. Please eat, and you're
Yeah.
not gonna feed it to something else. So, or at least I'm not, because I don't want to pass something around if something had something,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
it's
Over here, like a rat pinky is 250, like live. Say you want to feed live. I mean, I'm sure frozen thought isn't that much different, honestly. It's like 250 for a rat pinky,
yeah,
$5 for a fuzzy, $7 for a small. It's just astronomical. I couldn't afford it, and
no, no.
and yeah. So yeah. Are you spraying? How's your humidity out there?
Yeah, we're pretty humid. I think natural humidity here is like 50 something, 60. So, but I'm spraying every day. You can see these 3 cages here. I sprayed, I don't know, 3, 4 hours ago. They stay those two big ones. Those are the monolith slims from Focus Cube. Those ones I struggle with keeping humidity. I fucking taped up all the backs, but I'll spray
Yeah.
those things and they just don't stay super wet for that long. So those ones, I'm not getting those ones again, at least for my weather here.
That's what I
Those,
heard. I think Chuck was mentioning. Shout out to Chuck.
oh, really? Yeah.
I think he was mentioning the shorter enclosures keep the humidity better. He was saying he goes with a 30 by 18 by 18, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
He
So
was
that's
and
what
and I think yeah, I had some taller enclosures like you see this one I built behind me here.
nice one.
It is about 21 and a half inches tall, or maybe 24 tall.
Yeah.
It's quite tall.
Yeah.
And the humidity, it's all right. I got the humidity down. It's pretty good. It stays relatively humid.
These three middle ones are 3 by 2 by 2. And then these three here are 30 by 24 by 18. And I think, and then I ordered 6 more from Cornell's World from Calgary, and they're 36 by 24 by 18. And I've got vinyl wrap, and I ordered custom purchase from Tyler's Green Trees. He makes some fucking sick purchase, and I'm getting colored ones. So I'm going with pink in one cage. I chose to go with 3 pink perches, and he was like, "Oh, thankfully somebody's trying pink."
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
like to
hear you.
mix up
Yeah, I like pink. Yeah, for
very
sure.
much
I like to
sexual
mix
stuff.
stuff up.
So yeah, mix it up.
That's pretty interesting. I've never heard of Tyler or this
Yeah, he
purchase,
was
and
on. I saw Tyler on. I don't know. Was it on MG? I think MG had him on Trap Talk, or maybe it was Chuck. I don't remember. One of the podcasts had him on, and I went right on, and he builds his own enclosures. He makes his own purchase. He makes twisted ones, kind of
Oh,
like
okay. Yeah, yeah, okay. I think I remember. Yeah, yeah. Now that
Tyler,
yeah.
Tyllor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great,
Yeah, I
great.
think I remember who you're talking about. Yeah, he had like a wall full of enclosures that he built for himself.
Yeah, yeah, like
Yeah. Yeah,
beautiful
okay.
enclosures, right? That's him right there. I
Yeah,
don't know
for
if
sure.
Tyler's green tree. Can you see it?
Yeah, yeah. Now I remember. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. Yeah, he was a really cool dude. I
Incredible
really like
purchase.
Tyler.
Cool
Yeah.
snakes. He's got some Garrick stuff, House of Blue. He's got beautiful
Yeah.
animals. Yeah.
Yeah. I made all these purchases like up here. I made all these myself right here. I
Well,
just
you're fucking handy, right? So I
yeah,
was.
I'm really handy. I'm
I'll
really
show you the
handy. So
tool. I'll show you the tool. This is the. This is pretty much the only tool I own. Is this. In order to put these things together, I had to call my buddy who lives across the street and ask him to
yeah.
borrow a drill because I don't have tools. So that's nice that you're handy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't have any Cambros.
Camero tub lids recess in so the lid seam is lower than the top of the enclosure. I see the moisture gets trapped at the top. I mean, I've got Cambros down there. And that one guy that I said escaped and tried to kill himself, well, I was very hesitant putting him in there, and I put some shims underneath of that one. But
Yeah. Yeah, I heard the Cambros didn't hold the humidity too well. Like you had to put a coin so it like lifts it up more.
yeah,
Or
so that's what I was
something.
putting. I was putting a little piece of fabric, like just this little shim underneath it. But
Yeah.
can I take the thing over here?
Yeah,
So I
sure, man.
sprayed the shit out of these things earlier today. Like this is the little yellow guy trying to kill himself. See how wet it is? And
Yeah.
it's not humid on the walls anymore. Here's the Socrates red one. This one's going to be incredible. And it's nighttime here, so I don't know if he's going to be looking at me yet. But I've sprayed this thing 3 hours ago, and the bottom's wet, and it's not super humid, right? So I don't know.
Those are really nice setups, bro.
They're
Really
incredible.
nice,
These are the Focus Cube hanger
Yeah.
sixes. And then I sold this Biak, and I sold this one's getting picked up this weekend because they probed male, and so did another one up here. But these little ones here, these are called the what are these ones called? The Focus Cube ones. These ones hold humidity real well.
Yeah.
And so do these ones here. So do these ones. But the Monolith Slims, and you can see my female, she's right there. But
Wow.
Monolith Slims don't do so well at holding humidity, just from what I noticed. So I got to work those ones. I got to work on quite a lot and stay. Yeah. Cameras have Camero brand lids. Oh yeah, not in the rack. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is my little shim here, but whatever.
Yeah, man, those were some nice enclosures, dude. Wow, man, that's
Yeah,
so
Focus.
awesome.
I mean, Focus
can't
Cube's
believe
the
it.
best. But guess what? I just paid.
Yeah.
I just paid a fucking $2,000 bill today for duty for those cages. So on top of them being expensive and averaging $720 American a piece, including the colored purchase, then I pay shipping, which averaged about $120 a unit per cage, and then on top of that, I got dinged $2,000 Canadian, so that was about $1,400 American for 9 enclosures, so almost another $150 in duty per enclosure. So all of a sudden, the enclosures are costing me like $1,700 Canadian a piece. Well, I can buy them from Calgary for 800 Canadian shipped to my house with custom vinyl wrapping. So that's why I'm getting the 6. Unfortunately, I love Focus Cube, but it's just annoying to get dinged, right?
I mean, that's the same thing with like the perch, like that shall not be named, but like I made these perches for like $5, bro. Like, where I could have charged like 4 perches is like $100, where I made 3. I mean, I could make fucking 40 for like $5, like $10, like.
I mean, 18 of them from Tyler is $630 shipped. My first.
So yeah, have you done any pairings or?
Oh, I'm gonna this year. So Socrates came here and he said that yellow Biak female at the bottom. He probed her just to confirm because somebody said you bought the snake I was supposed to buy, and it's a male. It's not a female. and it probed female. So I'm going to pair her, Alex, to Don's Julio up there. Maybe I'll take the computer and I'll show you, Alex, so you can appreciate this cute little designer guy. That's Don's Julio in there. So he's a nice one. And the plan is to probe him maybe with this. I think this is a Jaya Sarong, although it's kind of nighttime. You can see she's thinking it's food now. She's quite big, very big. Oh, she's looking like we're food. Yep, she's in feeding mode. And this one is nasty. That Biak, Alex. So I'm thinking about putting my Don's Julio with the one above and maybe with this one. She's quite beautiful, though. And that will be coming up this fall. And Dawn Patterson from Victoria is going to kind of guide me, and we'll talk. I mean, I watched all your guys' videos talking about light cycling and temperature cycling and food cycling. So I'm going to do all that.
Okay. So you haven't done any pairing yet?
Really? No, I just took the camera and showed Alex if he was paying attention which ones I'm going to pair, because those ones, Don's Julio is about 3 years old male. That one's 4.5, and the one below is 4, and those ones are quite big. According to Socrates, he said the ones down below and this one will be ready this year, later this fall.
And do you have an incubator set up, or what's your incubator situation?
I don't have an incubator yet. I got to get on that. Don, who's local in Victoria, he just had a clutch about, I don't know, a month ago or so. He's going to help me with the incubator setup. He's going to help me with everything. Okay. Everything. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
But thank you.
So you're running lights. I see you have some lights on your enclosures. You're running lights on those?
I'm running the those ones got the belly heat, and then these ones all have the heat panels, and then just LED lights. That's it. So LED lights, and then the Hanger 6 here, I did not have the lights on. I've been having them in the dark lately. Garrett kind of gave me a piece of advice once. One of my females here was not eating, and he said, do you have the lights on in the cage? And she was in one of those Focus Cube hangers. And I said, yeah, I do. And he said, okay, well, how hot are you heating the food? I said, about 120. And he said, try heating it up a little bit more and try turning off the lights and see if that helps. And the female from that point forward was just smashing food and didn't look back. So, I was just getting used to them.
Yeah, I run lights in most of my enclosures as well.
Yeah.
I like the lights.
Well, I mean, for me, I like to look at the snake, so that's more for me, right?
100%. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised the light. I got to change the light. So obviously you're on the West Coast, same as us. You guys, your time switches same as us too, right? It switched last month, right?
I'd assume so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so now the lights are kind of fucked up. So they're obviously not turning off till 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So that's why the snakes are in like feeding mode, but the lights are still on. So a little weird. I gotta switch the timers.
I guess let's check out your Instagram really quick, bro.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the full screen, and we'll see here. So what is this like? Let's just start with this animal right here. Can you see this animal?
Yeah, I see it. So that's my female. That's from Dawn Patterson locally. It's a designer blue mother to, I don't know, I think that one was bred to like one of her sons or something like that. So that's the sibling to the one I was just showing Alex up top. So she's 3 and her brother up top is 3 too. He's more blue than her, and he's got some black melanism coming in right now, which is quite nice. Report me.
No, I'm sorry.
No. That one, I love the one next to it, the one that you've got right there. Yeah, that's from Gulf Coast Chondros. That's from David Trong. So that's a mock pepper Joan Collins Pygar. So it's funny, like literally, I bought that snake from him when I was in Italy, did the deal in Italy, and it was a red Neo, very black to start. And like a week before he shipped it from me, it went from red to that. And it had more blue in it at first. When he first sent me a photo, he was like, "Here's your snake. It'll be at you in a week," and it just shed. So I didn't get a chance to see the OCC, so to speak. But that's a beautiful snake. It's a male. Socrates probed it. It's a male. He's very friendly. I don't really hold him, but super sweet. Kind of keeps to himself.
Nice, nice, man.
Born in December of
Yeah.
2023, so he's about 15 months old, 16 months old.
Yeah, of
That's
course you got your
that's
really nice green
that's
emerald right here.
her head. She's got an incredible head.
I love these perches you have. Are so nice.
Those all focus cube. Those are the carbon red ones. That's Don's Julio. He's a fucking weirdo. He perches in such weird positions. I just find sometimes I take photos of him because he's just in these random positions. But he
Those
in
yellow
person,
diamonds.
he's got beautiful yellow diamonds. He's much bluer than that photo.
Yeah, he's blue. Yeah.
But he does have a lot of black on him now.
Okay.
Yeah, that's him
Cool.
right below too. And that's
Which
the
animal?
that's the Gary. That's the Gary female Manaquari.
Oh
So
wow.
it's the Prada Manaquari that Gulf Coast
Yes.
grows. So David Trong had it and sold it to me, but he bought it from Gary Chavino. And yeah,
This was
she's
a red Neo, of course.
red Neo, and I think she's 4 this year too, but she's small. Like compared to my Biak and the other Sarong Jaya,
Yeah.
she's small side. But I don't know if that's a Manaquari thing or
Yeah.
not. You guys probably know
Yeah, I
better than me.
noticed some chondros are smaller. Like they're definitely
Yeah,
on the smaller
that's her.
side.
That's her again. She
Yeah, I
does some
see.
funny perching, but she kind of keeps to herself. Yeah,
Is she
she's
one
really.
of your favorite chondros? I could
I mean,
kind of
she's
tell
she's
she's
she's Jaffe's favorite chondro. Mine is that
okay.
male. Mine is that one to the left. No,
Oh, oh,
yeah, right there, Don Julio. That one and the one below is
yeah.
he's my favorite. He's got a shorter head. It's a fatter kind of, like not
Yeah. I
so
love
long.
that short head. Yeah,
I like the short
for
head, right?
sure. Yeah,
So that's him.
I know exactly what you mean, bro.
Oh, there's down, yeah, to the right there, the black one. See the black Neo? That is the
Yeah.
Gulf Coast Chondro one that turned into the. See here, yeah, here you can see it. This is a little video showing it. It was red, and then boom, he sent me a picture a week before. Just went green. So it
Wow.
had a
Okay.
bit of blue. Now the diamonds are disappearing a bit. It's way more melanism, and it's got a little bit
Oh,
of.
oh shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
We'll
No,
go
it's all
back
good.
to that. This was the
Yeah,
animal
that's
right
him.
here.
That's
Yep.
him 14 weeks ago. I'll show you him right now
Yeah.
because he's pretty chill and he's not in food mode yet. He's got a
All right.
short head too. Can you see my camera or
Yeah,
no?
yeah. I'm going to pull you up right
Just
now.
for a second, I'll show you him.
Let's
But because
see
he's
here.
not going to try to bite me. See that head? He's got a short kind of stubby head, kind of like my.
What's going on here? Sorry, guys.
No problem.
Apologize. See,
You see him? Can you see him okay, Adrian? Hope you didn't lose me. You're still going. I got the microphone to myself, the dance floor. She back. He's back.
yeah, yeah. I don't know if you could hear me. Yeah, it was looking great. You could,
Yeah, so he's a nice little male, super friendly. He's smashing. He's eating about 25 gram Mice, like whatever you call, whatever size of mice that is. So
So, do you have any wild caught chondros
I do. These ones
or
were,
imports?
yeah,
Imports.
those two that I'm selling are
Okay.
imports. The one up above that I did not show you, he's quite beautiful. He looks a lot like one that Alex got from Dan, I think his name is. What's that guy's name? DT
Yeah,
Exotic.
Dan Malari, DM
Yeah,
Exotics.
DM,
Yep.
thank you. Yeah, yeah, that one looks like one from that. And then that one down below is too. So those two that I'm selling, I was told came from a gravid female. In
Yeah,
me,
captive.
probably means it was wild. But I've sold those two. One's going this weekend, and one is going in a couple weeks. Guy paid for half of it, and he's going to pick it up in a couple weeks. And I'm just getting rid of those because I was sold them as females, and they're males, and I had too many males. So trying to get more
So,
balance.
how old is your oldest known animal that you have? Your oldest known chondro?
Oldest known chondro would be that female right there in the middle in the green enclosure. I think she's a 2020. Is it she 2020? She'll be 4.5 or 5 this year. She's the oldest.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's about the same as my oldest female. I
Yeah.
have a Craigslist male that's probably like, I'd say he's like 10 years old, dude. He's pretty
Uh,
old. It's a gnarly male.
I know that one there is from the same breeder as the Don's Julio up there and as the female in the middle there. And I was sold it as the guy said it was a sarong, but I talked to Don, the breeder. He's like, no, it's not a sarong. He goes, I think it's a sarong mixed with a Jaya. She's quite big. She's got some nice blue and some nice yellow, and she is a fucking ferocious feeder. Like soon as, like right now, when I opened up that cage, she's always at the glass.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that, man.
Except you don't like it when they hit the fucking cage, right? Like sometimes
No, no.
he doesn't do that. That
It's a
Maniquari
will.
does. We'll sit there in the S position, just looking at you. Hey, this trailer park boy. Love that guy. Will. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah,
What about your water bowls? So you have like arboreal water bowl holders, or just is it all Pyrex dishes, or what do you run in on your water bowls?
I bought the things from Focus Cube Habitat, the hangers, and I just used the Dixie cups. I had this one from earlier
Okay.
from filling ball python water.
So
So
that attaches to the perch
that's
kind of
right.
thing? Yeah.
Yeah. But
Okay.
I've got like three, most of these ones have like 2 or 3 water bowls in each of them. I put some down on the ground up top just so they've got ample water.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure, man. What kind of water are you feeding your chondros?
Just tap water here. We got the best water in Canada. And then I
Yeah, for
use,
sure. You guys do have some good water, like Washington, Oregon, Canada.
and then I
They have
just put,
really soft water.
yeah, we have soft water. So I use the Reptisafe in
Yeah,
there.
for sure. Okay. Yeah, I have a little bottle of that too. Yep.
I bought I don't know, shit,
Yeah.
like eight or 10.
You
of
guys
these.
have really good water. I follow Corey from Aquarium Co-op. I was really into aquariums. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Is he the guy from Alberta he got some of the rainbow, whatever it's called, snakes? The Ganya, fuck, what's the name of that snake? He's got a pretty
No.
good. No, not from Alberta.
No, he's from the States. He's in
Oh,
Washington. I think he's in Washington or Oregon. He runs a shop called Aquarium Co-op, and he has a YouTube channel. He's really popular. His name's Corey. I forget his last
yeah.
name, but he has a really nice fish store, and he has soft water up there. Up in the Pacific Northwest, there's like
Yeah.
really good water. That's what I hear.
Oh, dude, Victoria's got the best water. It's probably got better than Seattle. Definitely better than Vancouver, which has pretty good water.
We have horrible water over here in Los Angeles. Very hard water.
Yeah.
It's horrible water.
Yeah, Ontario, like Toronto, their water is terrible. Super hard.
Yeah.
Erodes.
Yeah. So I right now I'm running spring water and a Brita filter, kind of bouncing back and forth. I use a Brita filter. At least I'm giving my animals filter water. I drink the, there's other filters that like filter out like zero minerals and shit. I think it's good to have some kind of mineral content.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's right to feed your animal distilled water or RO water. I think that's way too clean.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know much about feeding. I
Yeah.
just go with what I'm told. I mean, I guess if you feed something, it would be like feeding humans the most distilled perfect water, and then what happens if you drink something that's not, or you forget sometime?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
No, I mean, if I'm drinking, yeah, so I do Brita filter water.
Hmm.
I know it's probably not the I know there's RO water, which is basically distilled water. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now. It's working really good, and I'm feeling really good about it. So yeah, definitely feed some high grade water to my animals. I feel like water is really important,
Yeah.
especially on the emeralds. Like you
Oh
hear
yeah.
there's a lot of talk about the emeralds right now, and how frequent your water changes should be, and I completely agree with all that. Definitely, do frequent water changes on the emeralds.
Yeah, I changed them today. I've changed them every 3 days, and I actually see them drink water. Unlike most of my other snakes, I like if I come down here, I'll see them drinking water, and other ones I just don't typically see that. Right?
Yeah, yeah, I'll see them drinking water for sure. And do you use puppy pads or newspaper, or what kind of
I
substrate are you
use
going with?
paper towel, and in
Okay.
the like in these 6 quarts at first when I had them all in here before getting the Cambro tubs. And I'll be using these soon because I'm getting a young Neo from Luke Snake Walker, and I've got getting something from Bill in the fall, a couple from Bill and Garrick at some point too. But I will go to I was using water in the bottom of those, and then I heard like Socrates I think used to do that. I think Bill used to do that, and then I
Yeah.
think Socrates was telling me about one of them drowning in it, and then he
Ah.
switched. And then from
Yeah.
then, I was like, okay, fuck it, I'm switching. So then I just started putting paper towel in there.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I thought they were still running water on the
Yeah,
bottom.
I did see MJ when MJ went to his house. I think there was water in the bottom of them, but I thought he was telling me like in person that he had one that, if I recall, one that had an incident. I guess took the food down and I think drowned or something like that. One of the young
Yeah.
ones, young Neos, and then I thought he shifted to paper towel.
That's that's what frustrates me is when they strike the food and then it sits in
Or
the water bowl and they kind of get turned off by, so it's kind of good to take the water bowl out, or like right now I move the water bowl like way to one side so like
yeah.
if they strike they won't like, you know, wrap it in the water bowl.
Soon as they
Uh,
strike mine, I actually try to move the water bowl out if I can, depending on the like in these big ones, no problem. In the
yeah.
Cambros, it's a little tight. And like one of them, the Biok, she grabs the fucking food, the nasty one that I sorry, it's not a she. I found out it's a he. That's what I keep saying she. He grabs the food, will wrap it, and then will look back at you and fucking strike at the enclosure the whole time until you leave the room, then it'll
Wow.
eat it. So that one I put my hand in to take water out. I just decided I'll feed it and I'll kind of drag the mouse somewhere so that when it kind of hangs down, it's not hanging over the water bowl. Then I'll move on. But that one's a nasty one.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, Will, we got a question from Will, and he says, "Do you guys do a night drop?" And myself, I kind of run an ambient thing. I don't. My thermostats aren't capable of a night drop, but I feel like there's. I don't have insulation
Yeah.
in my snake room, so I feel like there's enough night drop,
Mm.
ambient with the non-insulated
Yeah.
snake room that it kind of, the animals can tell that it's cooler,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm doing right now. Unfortunately, my thermostats cannot provide a night drop as far as I'm aware of, and I feel like the ambient night drop is enough.
Yeah. I dropped 2 degrees, and I think that was based off of listening to, I don't know if it was Dave D or somebody just talked about 87 kind of a hot spot, and at nighttime maybe dropping it a couple degrees. So I've got all mine set. All the herp stats are all set to drop 2 degrees at 8 p.m. and 8 a.m. They go back up.
All right.
I
Are you
am
coming to?
is Trap Fest is Bill's place, right? That's Trap Fest, or is MJ's thing
No,
is
that's MJ's. Yeah, that's MJ's
I
in
don't know.
June. I believe it's
I don't know
June
anything
8th,
about.
Friday.
I don't know. I've
Yeah.
not. Do you need an invite to MJ's thing or what?
I'm sure you're probably invited, bro. Reach out to MJ, and yeah, I'm sure you're
Alex might have made shit awkward there. You know what I mean? No, I'm just joking. But I'm gonna go to Bill's in Dallas in
in
September.
September.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
just chatting with Bill yesterday on the phone, and I'm gonna do that. I don't know.
for sure, man. I'd
So
like to go to Bill's
MJ's
sometimes
San
too.
Diego, right?
Yeah, he's in San Diego, California. Yep.
Hey, that might
Yeah.
be. Do you know what the dates on it?
Yeah, I think it's like June 8th. It's on a Friday.
Oh, that wouldn't be bad
Let me
because I'd like
see
to
my
take my kids
calendar.
to. My kids want to go to Six Flags, so that might be a good thing
I
to.
think it might be
It's,
June 7th or
yeah.
no, I'm sorry, June 6th.
Oh
It's
yeah.
the week of this Reptile Super Show.
Cool.
So,
Oh yeah. I mean, hey, I could. I'm pretty busy with work right now. Like I got like 8 new listings going up between tomorrow and next week. So it'll all depend on that. You know, you can hook up your Herpstat to your IP and get updates from it. Did not know that. No, did not know that.
yeah.
Will
Yeah,
is
I don't have.
techie. Will knows his shit. I'm very
Hey,
simple.
bro,
Hey,
for
Will,
being in the trailer park, he's on his shit.
no, did Will see my tool? This is the only tool. I don't know about
Look at my tool.
fucking Herpstat.
That's
To your
hilarious, dude.
come on,
Oh my gosh, bro.
right?
Um,
I love it. No, it's
going right there.
yeah, Jaffe got me on the they're not the Govee ones, the whatever the other ones are, the temperature things and the humidity things in the case. So I went out and bought 12 of those right off the bat. But yeah, no, everybody's helping out and just trying to kind of stay on top and making sure I'm giving these animals the best they can get.
Yeah, bro, for sure, man. For sure. It's exciting. It's exciting, man. It's exciting, man. I had a male and I definitely see it. He's put some size on him for sure, bro. Like this male that I have. It's a Patrick Holmes animal. I
Oh
can
yeah.
definitely see he's getting bigger, man. He's getting
What's
bigger.
what's the parents on those ones?
It's from the Gems line.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I like the Gems, yeah. It's like pretty much just high percentage to wrong,
Yeah.
with some gems thrown in there.
Look what
And
Patrick sent me today. Well, I showed you the video, the one I'm getting from Ruben, but Patrick sent me this. I'm getting a female from Patrick. Well, it's not Patrick's. This is Buddy's. Bill has the
okay.
sibling. Bill has the sibling to this. So this is a
Wow.
female. He's probing it on Monday just to confirm it for me and doing the Nido for me. Bill's amazing. Sorry, not Bill. Patrick is amazing. Bill's amazing too, but Patrick, does the Nido, the crypto, the serpent or whatever. Not Serpento. So I don't know. He sent
Paramixo.
thank you.
Paramixo?
One.
Yeah.
He tests for all this kind of shit. He's housing the snakes for me that I bought from Ruben because the shipping time's not here. But that is a bowl. Is it called Bolo times Lira? It's a Mandango line. And he thought that female would go really well with the velvet that I'm getting
Yeah.
from Ruben. So someday I will be sending Ruben a Neo from Bolo times the Lira to that velvet
Yeah.
whenever the time is. All right. So
Man, that's
I
awesome,
can
bro.
pay him
Yeah.
back, right? Because
That
sometimes a lot of these people that are selling snakes, it's kind of like for short-term pain. You need the money right now and this, that, the other, and you want to make sure they go into good hands. And I just wanted him to know that the snake will be in good hands. I'll take good care of it, and I really appreciate that opportunity
yeah, man.
to be the new
That's what
caretaker. Right?
that's what I like about Garrick from
Mm-hmm.
House of Blue is like he has such a nice vetting process
Totally.
with his verification process.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal guy.
And
Yeah,
that's
do you go see him in person ever? He's in LA, right?
yeah, no, I see him when I'm hanging out with MJ. That's why I
Yeah.
try to surround myself with MJ so I could, kind of interact with these high level people.
Yeah.
And like Tim Park. Tim Park is one of MJ's good friends as well,
Yeah.
man. Tim Park, he keeps a very nice emerald collection,
Oh, nice.
and
Yeah.
really like the basins, man. The basins. I'm surprised you don't have any basins, bro. With
I
you
almost
know,
bought one. I almost bought one from Ed Marino. He had one. He offered me before offering. He didn't put it out there on Instagram until about 3-4 months after me, and it was not shipping season. and
Yeah.
and then he was like, well, I'll just see, he said he normally doesn't sell snakes unless he needs to
Yeah.
free up some money. And then by the time he posted it again, I was kind of like, you know what, I really like the Chondros. I'm just going to stay focused because, I think Socrates said it. And, like you
Fuck,
can get,
dude.
you can get pulled in a bunch of different directions. Just kind of pick something
Yeah.
they like.
Yeah. It's like people think like, oh, emeralds are like green tree pythons, but it's like a whole different ball game, dude. It's like a boa is like a live birth,
Yeah.
it's a live bearer.
Yeah.
But definitely, like, dude, I recommend, please, dude, like, get some basins, man. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
I
but at
know,
like an 8 grand American to 12 grand
yeah.
American, like a snowflake, and the alien ones, Ed
Oh,
was
yeah.
fucking alien ones. You sell some of them at like, I think Socrates. No, somebody was selling. I thought he paid. He's no. Who was it that paid 32,000 for a fucking alien line American? That's like
Yeah.
50,000, including duty. Sixty
Man,
Canadian. Like that's fucking insane.
dude,
That's
the
insane.
aliens are so nice,
Aren't
man.
they
Oh, my
incredible? Like you
gosh,
literally
bro.
see a fucking alien. Like I
These
show my
things are
girl.
so nice, dude. Oh, my
Yeah,
God, bro. Like, basins, yeah, that's, honestly,
something
man,
else.
I'm sorry, bro. Like, basins, yeah.
How about
That's
Bolins? Fuck, can they get any better, more beautiful than a Bolin?
yeah, I like Bolins. I got a pair of diamonds from Buddy Buscemi on the way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like the
Yeah,
diamonds too. So Don that lives in Victoria, he's great with the diamonds and
yeah.
fungal jet,
Diamonds are awesome, bro. Yeah.
all these things. I don't know. He's got
Yeah, I
some.
like carpets. I like carpets and especially diamonds.
Yeah, yeah. They're pretty. Any of them snappy with you though, or not? Like they can.
I don't have any
Oh,
carpets
you
in
don't
my
have any yet,
collection.
because he's
Yeah,
got
I'm
some that
gonna
are incredible, but their heads are like bigger
yeah, they're
than
pretty.
that, and he's like, fuck, I hope I don't get tagged today, as he's reaching in to clean their shit. And I'm like, what do you mean I hope I don't get tagged today? He's like, oh no, these fuckers will bite, and it'll go through the glove and it doesn't feel good, but he gets bit all the
Yeah,
time. So, and I'm like, shit, I don't know if I want that.
for sure.
I'm a bit of a pussy, you know what I mean? I'm wearing a fucking Mercedes shirt right now. I don't want to
Yeah.
be bit by no carpet python or diamond.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't heard much on their like temperament. I mean, I've definitely for sure I know they're like a lot more active
Hmm.
than a lot of other species that we keep.
Yeah.
And but yeah, basins are legit, bro.
Yeah,
I really
that's if you
it's
want to
one of
talk
my
about
goals.
that.
One of my goals for sure is some basins
Yeah.
and what's it right here? It's, it's 1 second, bro. But
You should switch your name to
yep,
fucking Bandos Chondros.
Bandos, Chondros, yeah,
Yeah, I like
bro.
that name, Bandos. That's a good one.
I only have like 5 chondros, bro. Like,
Well, fucking, what's your
you know,
goal? You want to get to 10? Make it happen.
I mean, and that's another thing. So that brings me to another topic is like the opportunity of buying like a nice chondro that you like is very rare, bro. It's like there it's like you said, like you're like, "Oh, am I in love with this? Do I want to buy this?" Like, I
Hmm.
don't know. And like you really have to be in love with it if you're going to add it to your collection and it's
Yeah, I mean, I got the three Biocs from the one person
yeah.
early, and there's something to be said about. I do love the one of them, the look of one of them, but it's not the friendliest snake, and
Yeah.
that I'm afraid to get tagged or whatever. But there's something nice about you know the Jaya Aru that I can take its perch out clean, or all these other ones that I can clean. All of the other ones, basically, except for that bottom Biak, I can take their shit out and clean. I don't have to worry about getting tagged. And there's just nice energy, and I don't know. There's just something about that is just nice, right?
For sure, yeah. Like this female I got right here, she's pretty brutal. She's a Biak.
Yeah,
She's definitely gnarly.
she looks big.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
how
she's
you
pretty
ever weighed
big.
her? Have you ever
I
weighed her?
don't think I've weighed her. I'd say she weighs at least 1,000 grams
She
ish.
looks pretty legit. Yeah.
Yeah, she's yeah. I've tried pairing her and she just wasn't interested. The male looked kind of interested a couple times and
Yeah.
she just wasn't into it.
Yeah. And how did you get the male back out? If she's the type that wants to tag you, was the male on a different
Nah,
perch?
I mean, yeah, I'm not
Tick.
really like, yeah, I mean, I'll just go in there and grab him out. Like, he'll be on a different perch maybe,
Yeah.
and I'll just go in and grab him out. I'll spray him. I'll tap him with the hook.
Yeah.
I try to do the best I can, and yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
it's why
No,
I try to come up with these. I try to come up with these setups. I don't know if you saw, but I shared like like a bottom tray, sliding.
that's my kids trying to call me. Hang on.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
No. That's a FaceTime. It'll interrupt the whole call. I'll just tell him I'll call him back shortly.
Yeah, man, and we could come up to some wrap up
Yeah.
topics if
Sure.
I know if you need to
Wrap it
go.
up in
But
10
yeah,
minutes. I can call them.
that's a for
It's
sure,
their
for
bed.
sure.
It's their bedtime. I call. They FaceTime me, or I call them every night when I don't have them. So that's kind of our thing.
Yeah, I came up with the bottom drawer pull out
Yeah.
like enclosure setup, so that way you can just maintenance stuff without reaching your hand in there or
Yeah.
disturbing the animal. And it's because you hear a lot of stories about the bottom tray pull out drawer setups. Like
Yeah.
back in the past, I guess there used to be a lot more of those. So I tried to make some of my own, and it's working really good. I had a snappy emerald that I have in there, and it's working really good for him. I could just change his water and clean his substrate as much as I want,
Yeah.
and
And my emeralds have been good. They
pretty
actually
happy
don't
with it.
mind me. They don't mind my hands being in there and stuff. I just haven't worked up the courage to pick them up and hold them because they're wild caught, and I don't know.
Yeah. So you run your thermostats. You got your thermostats. You're working on your incubator.
Yeah,
You're
I got
setting it up.
I got them. I'm checking their temps every couple days. So it's just surprising how sometimes they fluctuate. I'm like, how the hell did it go from 86 to 88? And then I gotta
Okay.
go down. And I don't know if that's just moving. Like there's a furnace up there. I don't know if you can see that up there furnace, which I think
Yeah.
probably dries out. I feel like it dries out the two monoliths a bit. So that's why I put some tape on the back of them, just so hot air is not coming in there. But this is a pretty good room downstairs. My girlfriend, she lives with me 1 week when I don't have my kids. She's with me, and she loves the look of these snakes, but by no means does she want to hold one, touch one, or see one out. She wants to see them in the cage, and so she's, I'm trying to respect her. She's my person, and I love her, and she's like, I love that you're passionate about this. I love your passion, but it's just you got to keep these in the basement. I've got a 3-story home, so there's plenty of home above us. So
Awesome, bro. That's
yeah,
cool. Yeah.
yeah. I'm
Glad to
thankful
hear.
to have somebody that doesn't mind them, if you know what I mean, right? Because
Yeah.
then I
Oh,
probably
100%.
oh, did I
Oh
say that?
man.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I would never. I shouldn't say that. I was
Yeah, that's a huge part of it, bro, is having a partner that
to have
supports you
somebody that
with this.
supports like your
Yep.
hobbies. If she was into basketball, she's into college basketball. She loves watching NCAA. I'm into college basketball, right? I never was as a kid. I mean, I would watch it, but she's religious. So I do that for her. She does snakes for me. She does wake surfing for me. She does a lot of things for me, right? So,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
it's important.
And yeah, so you're you have like a lot of rainy season out there, or how's like the weather out there in where
Um,
you're out in Canada?
so
And
right
like
now, it's
like do you have like laboratories out there that do like testing for animals, like stuff like that? Like
not really. We've got vets, but if you want to do any like nido testing and all that kind of shit, I'd have to ship it away. There's nothing in town I can go to. Like our
yeah,
population.
no, of course, yeah, no, I don't, I have to ship my shit to Texas,
Yeah.
to
Oh, you do?
do.
Okay, I wasn't sure where
Yeah,
Raw is or
no,
fish heads or
yeah,
something. I was clear.
RAL is in Texas, and yeah, Fish Head somewhere else. I know I've heard some like I've heard a lot about Fish Head.
Yeah.
I just hear more about RAL, and that's one thing I want to touch on is like before you even get a chondro, is have a test kit, like
Hmm.
know where to send the test,
Yeah.
know how to take a swab,
Yeah.
know like have the test kits on hand,
Yeah.
know what like type of shipping you need to send the test kits before you even get a chondro, bro. Like have the
Totally.
test kits ready, bro. Do a full panel test.
Yeah.
Test for all that stuff. Test for crypto. Test for paramixo. Test for nido.
Yeah, it's Luke
And
Snakewalker. He fucking
and
tested. He tested a few times, I think, before even telling me I can get the one snake from him. And when I talked to Socrates today, he was talking about fish heads, and he was like, he likes both of them, but he's like, fish heads is great because you put the swab into a fluid as opposed to RAL, I guess, which is dry, and you gotta, or it
yeah,
could
dry.
dry out. It could dry out, and you got to ship it overnight, or you could ship something and you could get a negative result 3 days later because it's been fucking dried out. So, but yeah, all these guys, been great. But yeah, our weather here typically from like May till November is probably 70 to 80 Fahrenheit. And then right now we're kind of hovering about 40 to 50, but we really never get snow in Victoria.
Yeah.
So it's never too
It's
cold.
it's
Never
really
too
windy out here in California right now. Is it windy up there?
Well, I was in Palm Desert last week and I went through a fucking windstorm, right?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
sandstorm. Sorry, we were in a sandstorm. And
It's funny.
but yeah, it gets windy here sometimes. And
My
in no,
brother was out there. He was at like a wave pool out there in Palm Springs.
yeah, they just opened it up the other day.
Yeah. He was there, bro. You guys were probably there at the same time.
No, we missed it. It opened like
Yeah.
3 days after we
Oh.
left. I left last
Oh,
Thursday,
okay.
and it opened up on the weekend.
Yeah, he's a big surfer, bro. Shout out to my brother, man. He's a great surfer, bro. Out here, a Venice local, bro. Venice Beach,
Oh, my,
California. Big Juan Pablo. Um, yeah, man.
that's
It's
your
been
brother's
really
name is Juan
windy.
Pablo?
Yeah, Juan Pablo.
Oh,
Yep.
cool. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, man. He's actually the one that got me into reptiles, bro. He won like a lizard at a Fraser Park County Fair, like some
Yeah,
carnival. He won
yeah.
like a free, like a goldfish. They give you a free
Oh, yeah.
knoll. It was
Yeah.
like an anole. So, and we
Cool.
had that annul, and yeah, I got hooked after that. That was it, man.
Yeah, those
Yep.
are
So
the kind of moments in life that are beautiful, right? Somebody puts you onto
yeah,
something, and it forms your life. That's a pretty
yeah. It's
thing.
all about education, bro. Educating these kids, man. I try to teach my kids, and like you said, your kids are involved too,
Yeah.
and yeah, yeah, Jason, man. I appreciate your time tonight, bro.
I appreciate you.
If
I appreciate
there's
everybody. I appreciate Chuck that was on
sorry,
here,
man.
and Will who's reached
Yeah,
out.
man. Everyone for tapping
Yeah,
in, the whole
Alex,
replay gang, and
Cassidy, Bill, like it just MJ. I mean,
if
all
there's
the
any final thoughts, bro, you want to get off your mind or anything. If
I
there's
would
any
say
questions, if you have any questions for me, bro,
I
I
would
try to.
say yeah, like well, first of all, I'm thankful that you wanted me on here. I don't- you know
Is this
I
your
don't
first
uh,
podcast?
Jaffe had me on a live thing, but yeah, this is the first podcast, and I appreciate that. I mean, as long as
Great.
you guys feel like you get some value out of me, I'm
Yeah, bro.
happy to talk on anybody's
Yeah,
podcast. It's
man.
just I'm not the most knowledgeable when it comes to this. I'm definitely still learning. I don't pretend to know everything, and I just appreciate everybody. And like I'm the top of my game in real estate, and I definitely want to be the top of my game as a hobby collector in this industry, and I like to have a few clutches and teach my kids some responsibility and how to feed and all that kind of shit. And thank you, Will, and just teach them about the beauty of these animals. So that's for me it. And I would say like my final thoughts are one thing I love about your guys' community, and I say it's yours, and I'm happy to enter into it, is how everybody like MJ doing this and Chuck doing this and you doing this and Jaffe with his thing and Bill and Marshall and Alex, doing feeding videos and sending me feeding videos to try to help. That's not normal. Like in real estate, if I'm a top realtor and you're a top realtor and we're all trying to be realtors, people aren't really fucking sharing secrets. You know what I mean? It's like you're going to give your competitor advice on how to do things. Could take away from your
Yeah.
market. It could take away from your market share. And that's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing. Like Bill is teaching Alex, who then could sell animals for cheaper than Bill and could maybe take customers from Bill, but he's doing it. And that's what I talk about with like giving with no expectation of return. And that's why I think, karma is going to pay these guys tenfold. And you guys got a great community. There's some drama, there's some hate, some this, that, the other, like you find in anything. But I'd say overall, the snake community has opened its arms to me, been very, very helpful. It does,
Hell yeah, bro.
it's just a great, and I'm thankful to
Yeah,
be
bro.
big part of it. I'm sorry I didn't get into it earlier. Like, I just turned 50, so I wish
Oh my God, dude.
I wish
Jesus Christ, bro. You look like you're 35.
it's the Brazilian butt lift I had and the pecking.
Wow.
I had my titties done, so it's pretty.
Dude. Oh my God, man.
I'm just kidding, but
Jesus.
I am 50, so
No.
I do wish
No
that.
way, dude. What the dude, what kind of juice are you? You're drinking that methylene blue. You're on
Yep,
that.
this is what I put in my water. But
Dude,
honestly, I
that is
do wish.
insane, bro. I
I
would have
do.
never guessed you're 50, bro. Oh my God.
Yeah. No, I
Dude.
wish I wasn't. I mean,
I'm
I feel
sorry.
young. Don't get me wrong, if you know what I mean. But I do wish that I followed this passion
You
earlier and
look great, man.
didn't let a woman dictate, what I could and couldn't do. If you know what I
Yeah,
mean.
I hear you, man. I
Follow your
hear you,
passion.
bro.
Find your fucking people. Find your tribe.
Yep.
Find somebody that supports you. Like, my girlfriend's upstairs. She hasn't texted me once saying, "When are you coming upstairs?" or giving me
Yeah.
grief or giving me
Yeah, no,
shit.
I appreciate that, man.
Supportive.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing, right? See all the
Yep.
the cages of the lights are starting to turn off now. It's nighttime for these fuckers.
You're a good dude with a good vibe, bro, and I appreciate you coming on the show. And
Appreciate
definitely
you.
looking forward to another round of. We need to get another episode, bro, after we get some more experience under
Oh,
both
just
of
wait.
our belts.
Let's get some experience. Let me get those
And
beautiful animals of Ruben here and the
yeah,
Patrick Holmes ones.
just hang in there, bro. Take care of your animals the best that you can.
I am, yeah, for sure. With
A
all the
clutch will
love.
come soon. A clutch
Thank
will
you.
come soon,
Yeah.
bro. And get your
Congrats to
incubator
you
ready, bro.
and your fucking
And
ball pythons. That's incredible.
it's I think we're wrapping it up on the West Coast. It's been 2 hours, bro. So we're gonna run that motherfucking intro, dog. It's your fucking boy, dog. Adrian, the homie Jason, fucking Binab, dog. Top realtor in Canada on the fucking West Coast of Canada, bro. Selling billion-dollar homes. Let's fucking run it up, bro. Come on, dog. This ain't no bullshit, huh? West Coast, man, you know where it's at. Best place to relax and kick back underneath the palm trees. Talk about reptiles and spit facts from BP to GTP, emeralds to Ackies, the city by the sea where we rock the crease khakis. I don't need no AI intro because I've been at the style. Come kick it on the West Coast and talk about reptiles. Reptiles. Talk about reptiles. Style. Come kick it on the West Coast and talk about reptiles. Thank you guys for coming through. Appreciate it. Have a good night.